This week, we sneak a Futterman into Clamp Manor as we discuss the 1990 fantasy horror movie. I don't know if it's even horror, but whatever. It's close enough. Gremlins 2. And the music's not playing. That's fun.
Some gremlins must have gotten into
it. Yeah, I got a gremlin in my recording software. Here you go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me, as always, the guy who's asking, what happened to all the antiques in the shop they were demolishing? Tim Yobo, how are you doing today?
What's up, Eddie? What's up? I wish I had a gremlin while I was trying to watch this movie.
That bad, all right. Well, speaking of that bad, Tim, we're not alone this week. No, we are joined once again by the gremlin that drank the female hormones. It's Candice.
That's not the one my kids pointed out as me.
No?
Because I watched this with my kids.
Was it the stupid one with the crossed eyes?
It's the fish lips.
Yeah.
It was the one with the big
like
fish
that?
lips.
Okay.
The kid with the fish lips?
Came up, and my son looked at me and goes, that looks like you.
But we're not alone. No, we are being joined by longtime friend of the show, now co-host to maybe what I would say is the most important podcast coming out to date.
It's going to break the internet.
Eddie, you didn't tell me that the Matt of Ed and Matt on Campus was going to be on this show.
That's right, folks. Yeah. The Matt Anderson of Ed and Matt on Campus. How are you doing, sir?
I am the Matt Anderson. Only one. There's no others ever in this world. But
he's allegedly
great. Yes.
Allegedly,
I'm allegedly the Matt Anderson. That's how it is.
Also co-host of The Mighty Peculuar, which is a much better podcast. Matt, how you doing?
I wouldn't say that. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Tim seems like he's depressed. Candice, I can never really get a solid read on. Manic.
Yeah.
Okay.
She got dunked on by her son. So
yeah. Her son called her the fish lip gremlin. So, and you know what? I think that's Fancy the Fish Lip Gremlin sounds like a song.
Yes, it does.
So everybody write your own lyrics.
Fish lip gremlin, don't down.
I was thinking more like a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have to come up with a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer carol for you there, Candice.
Fancy the fish-lipped gremlin.
Only charge $2.
A blow.
A blow. Yeah. No, she's fancy, so it's going to cost more than that.
And if you ever
it's fancy for Missouri. Right?
That's true.
All right, she had a punchline. And if you ever fucked her, what was it?
You would even say it glows.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
I mean, but wait. Hold on, though. Wait. The gremlin couldn't get wet.
You know what? I have a note about
Shapiro.
that.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that.
He's the only one that can marry a gremlin.
He could be the only one to actually have safe sex with a female gremlin. I never thought about that until now, Matt. Thank you.
I'm actually kind of glad you never thought about that until now, because I don't know what would you be doing to be
I'll tell you what,
that?
though. Now it's the only thing I can think about.
He posted a picture, and he just can't stop staring at the pictures of his lovely gremlins.
That was the sound we heard. It wasn't typing.
Yeah, it was not. It was me with my mechanical penis. So while I'm sitting here thinking about that, Candice, what on earth have you been consuming?
Well, I'm in a holding pattern because Starfield is coming out.
Tim's dying of the new COVID.
I thought I hit mute. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's all right. So you're waiting for Starfield.
Waiting for Starfield. I went ahead and pre-ordered it so I could get the early access. So
you bought the $100 one?
Yes, I did. So next week.
You are crazy.
I want the early access. I have it all
it's 3
planned
fucking
out.
Days.
No, it's 5 days. next weekend I could start, and I have a 3-day weekend next weekend. I can start playing Starfield.
Look at you.
I have it planned out. So I've been doing my backlog. So I play Far Cry 6. That's a lot of fun. It's a good shooty pew pew game.
Okay.
That's the guy from Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to play that one, man.
It's fun. I
played 5.
I had so much fun with it because, one of your companions you can get is Guapo. And he's this alligator with a t-shirt on. And you just sick him on people. And I accidentally set him on fire one time. And so there was this flaming alligator that was taking out bitches left and right. It was fun. I was laughing. Yeah. Those games are dumb fun, and I really enjoy them.
Yeah, they are.
And also, Venture Brothers. I'm going through and rewatching Venture Brothers.
Love that show.
Again.
Yeah.
So
what a fantastic show.
Let me get your guys' take. And Tim, you might not have one. What do you think is the best Adult Swim show?
Oh, man.
Because my husband says Venture Brothers. I say Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
So, of the mainline ones, probably Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Of the one I really liked that never really took off, that was fantastic, was Dreamcore LLC.
I don't even know what that is.
Look that one up, dude. It is fantastic.
What about you,
I'd
Matt?
have to go with Venture Brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Not that I watch a lot of it or watch a lot of Adult Swim, but that's the one I remember. And that's the one with Putty's voice, right?
Yep. He plays Brock.
Oh, you're talking about Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Putty.
He's Putty to me. Come on.
Yeah, well, I've let my son watch it, and he really likes Brock Sampson. Brock Sampson.
Molotov Cocktease, another fantastic character.
There's so many fucking good characters in that show.
That is a great show.
And I love the fact that they're always talking about how great David Bowie is, and then they get him on an episode, the David Bowie.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Fantastic one. Oh, yeah. I think that. Well, what about you, Matt? You dip into the Adult Swim?
Yeah. So I was just looking up to see if this one actually counted, because technically it existed before it was on Adult Swim, but I loved Children's Hospital, but that was one of the live action ones, so it was kind of the weirder, them stretching out a little bit more.
Oh, it's Rob Corddry, right? From
The
Daily Show. Yeah.
It was like the 15-minute episodes that were. I thought they were hilarious, especially if you'd. Sorry.
Well, you better watch your words, because that was a warning.
I know that every week on the Mighty Peculiar, we know we've recorded a little too long when Sunday Porter, my dog, starts barking because something, it's become our new
walk-off music when the dog goes?
Did you say your dog's name was Sydney Porter?
No, just Porter.
Okay.
He said because suddenly Porter.
Suddenly. That's why I was like, wait, what?
No.
Sydney Porter. Is that like me just misremembering Sidney Poitier's name?
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was a play on that, which is why I was asking.
What a weird play on that would be. But
a deep cut.
I'll also say, and again, I don't know if this totally counts, but does Space Ghost Coast to Coast count? I know
totally.
It was basically what launched
it.
Yeah.
But, so I would say
Space Ghost. That is old Kentucky Shark, and it has been there. Sorry.
What?
You're a dork.
She made a reference, I think, to that show that nobody got.
Another underrated one that was on Adult Swim was Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. The one about the people down in hell doing the office work. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
The live action ones are weird, though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, okay. So that's quite a bit you've been consuming. Let's go over to Mr. Yobo then. What about you?
I've been watching a lot of Kubrick movies again for the umpteenth time. So I just got finished watching Barry Lyndon, and then I watched this movie.
that's a heck of a double feature.
Dude, wait, nice step up.
Yeah. So long meandering movie versus a short meandering movie.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Wow.
Sure. That's a good way to kind of wrap this movie up, is short and meandering.
Now, what's that? Dr. Strangelove and The Shining again.
Fantastic.
I got my husband to watch Dr. Strangelove for the first time. He'd never seen it.
Oh, really?
That's one of my favorite Kubrick movies.
Yeah.
He liked it. I wasn't sure because it has a lot of like kind of old-timey humor, you know, kind of more of a sly humor. And
Plus
he
a
usually
lot of
likes more of the slapstick.
Plus a lot of what they call down in Missouri, a lot of book words.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait,
He liked
English
it, though.
people?
He wasn't crazy about it, but he seemed to like it.
Okay. So a lot of Kubrick that you know, you could do a lot better or a lot worse, but not much better technically. So what about you, Matt? What have you been consuming?
Oh man, too much stuff actually. So mostly it's a lot of books that crazy people write. Because
good.
I'm researching for the Mighty Peculiar.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has a book out.
No, thank God, no.
Oh,
well,
God.
actually, I think she does, but like, I'm not reading that one. We already did that episode.
It's a picture book.
I'm good. I'm good. You know what? Interesting. The one thing that has not made it to the show yet, but I keep kind of researching on the side is, did you guys, and Tim, this may be something that you know or remember, the hoax about the person making cockroach paste as like a health supplement?
No.
You don't remember? It was a New York performance art guy. I was actually just trying to find his name now because like
cockroach paste.
Yeah. So it was like 1980. It's a well-known practical joke guy, but he, as a disguise, he put on a disguise and he had this press conference where he was saying that like for people that want to like live longer and want to have better immune systems, what better thing to model it after?
That's true. They survive. They survive anything, right? That makes sense. You know what? I'm going to bring that back.
So this guy,
Matt, don't spoil my shit.
But this guy got on like it was like 180 newspapers to cover him. He was on daytime talk shows in disguise, talking about this product that's going to be coming out soon, and he made it as disgusting as possible. But just because everyone was so like supplement crazy at the time, people were buying it. He actually had to unmask himself because he couldn't produce the actual product. The joke got way ahead of him. And it was like,
Jesus.
Guys, no, this does not exist. And the story has been just in my head. Oh yeah, his name is Joey Skaggs, which is like the best name for a guy like this.
Yeah, that's a New York name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he was late 60s and 70s. He was he taught at the New York School of Visual Arts. And it was Dr. Gregor's cockroach pills. And he called himself Dr. Joseph Gregor, which is a name from Kafka's Metamorphosis.
yeah, I was going to say.
And he said that he just he finally had to unmask him. So the initial press conference was in May 22nd, 1981. And he finally unmasked himself in January of 1982 because it just kept going and people wanted to talk to him about it. So he actually literally had to do the take the wig off and the stuff and be like, guys, it was just me. There's no such. This is seriously no one caught on to this. Anyways, that's
I'm just trying to remember when there was 180 newspapers in the country.
Yeah.
Man, it would be a lot better than where we're fucking at now.
Yeah, except maybe not though, because they're all taking the bait.
Yeah,
that was
true.
All of his. He had done numerous public pranks like this. All of them were directed at pointing out the gullibility of media, and people kept falling for it. And it's just and I don't know. Now that I've got this information in my head, I was just it's been at top of mind just because it's so dumb. Yeah. But it's also so kind of brilliant.
So looking at another one
I'm
of his
looking at right
pranks,
now, Joey Skaggs, Art of the Prank. Yeah.
He did in 1990, this guy marketed a new kind of hair implant, whole scalps from the dead. The prank began as an ad in the Village Voice soliciting scalp donors.
Oh, there's a documentary about him.
Is there?
Yeah, awesome. I gotta check that out. What a fantastic guy to be.
I mean, it's just amazing that he knew how to get attention for this stuff, right? Because it's one thing to have the idea, But it's the other thing to be able to know how to attract the attention and make sure that it gets covered. Because again, that's the whole point of it. Like you could do a stupid little like, press conference, I guess, but to be able to somehow fool everyone that like you were this credentialed guy, like,
well, that I know what you're talking about, how you just can't stop thinking about it, because I did a deep dive on NFTs and Decentraland.
God.
And so I've been ruminating on human nature and whether or not this is immoral, because the people getting shit on are each other. They're just shitting on each other constantly. So I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. It's actually pretty funny.
Honestly, NFTs kind of sound like something if Joey Skaggs, I don't know, I think he's dead,
Yes.
but it sounds like something he would come up with, because it's basically selling
He
nothing.
might be playing his best Brit.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be if finally
Right now, all the media's going, oh, thank God that motherfucker's dead. He's never going to be able to trick us again.
Yeah. That's the guy who's going to fake his own death. Like, for sure. Like, how do you not if you've got that reputation?
Right. I mean, you'd be stupid not to, for sure. Okay, so, God, man, you know what? I'm going to have to check some of his shit out. If there's a documentary on him, I'll definitely get it and throw it in the bank, man, because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of throwing shit in the bank, so I haven't been consuming it yet, but I've been obsessed with it since I learned about it. Apparently, Tim, you're going to love this one. Back in 2004 on Fox, there was a reality show called Playing It
I
Straight.
saw those 2 clips, yes, and I don't remember seeing it. And I'm like, I know I would have watched that when it came out.
So the Playing It Straight one, I think, has got to be the one. I mean, the better of the two. They're both fantastic.
Oh, because that's kind of fucked up premise.
No kidding. So the premise of this one.
Well, no, I mean the prize distribution. The premise I'm perfectly fine with. I got no problem with that.
The prize distribution is what makes it brilliant, Tim.
Yeah.
So the idea is they get 14 guys, right? And one woman, and she has to go determine which one of them she wants to spend the rest of her life with. The same way we all meet on television.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she goes on little dates with all the guys and gets to know them, and they're all like, cowboy themed guys. At least that's what the trailer showed.
Yeah, the very masculine type guys, right? There's a construction worker, there's a cop, there's a cowboy,
there's a Native
Indian,
American.
Yeah.
I think I know what the theme is. I think I know what the prize is.
So if she picks a mate, the two of them each get $500,000, which is, I mean, that's nothing to fucking spit at.
Then,
there. That's some money.
That was
Now.
Now I'll take $500,000, Tim, to find love. I mean, that's win-win.
I'll bet
right?
you anything that if we ever get a clip of it, when you look at the end of the show, it's going to be a clip where, it's $500,000 spread out over 20 years of payments.
Yeah. So
well,
now
you say get to the end of the show.
yeah.
I mean, you basically.
I mean, it did do 2 seasons, so that's a surprising thing.
Wait, no.
Okay, so the
that
twist
one was. Oh, did they get picked up somewhere else?
Yeah, no, I think it was both on Fox.
Because Playing It Straight, because I do remember this show, and I was wait a minute, like.
So for the listeners, though, the twist on it is that I think they didn't say if it's exactly half, but I have to assume half of the men are gay.
Which ones?
The gay ones.
The ones dressed like the YMCA people?
Yeah, those ones. So now the problem is that then you're like, okay, well, why would a gay guy even participate in this? Like, it's if the gay guy tricks her into picking him, he gets the entire $1 million.
She gets nothing.
So I was telling my wife
the only thing
after
that she's
I saw
going to
this,
get is a good makeover.
I was telling my wife after I saw this, man, some crafty bisexual could really fucking win on this one.
I want to watch it because what year did you say this was?
2004.
Yep.
2004.
Yeah.
I want to see. I don't care about her reactions. I don't even care.
I want to know what kind of
I want to see those guys.
I want to see what kind of test she picks. If she's feeling out if they're gay or not.
Oh no, Candice, you didn't see.
No, she doesn't know.
She's got the greatest trick in the world to figure out which one is gay. If they're going to kiss her.
Well,
But
Because
then,
they
did
show
tell
her in that video. They show her in that video of her making out with like every single guy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Then the second one that I linked, I also really want to watch. I didn't find the name of it, though, is the problem. I'm pretty sure it's easy to find, though, and that is they just got some dude who kind of looked like Prince Henry to pretend that he's Prince Henry.
Right?
Or Prince Harry,
yeah.
right? Whatever. I don't know their fucking
Well, his
names.
real
I don't
name's
respect
Henry,
the royalty.
No.
I don't respect
so you
those bitch
accidentally got it
asses.
right.
Prince Ginger.
I'm not up there with those pussy ass Canadians still honoring their fucking monarchy bullshit. They can kiss my ass. Anyhow,
Man,
so
there
they
goes our
trick all of
listenership
these.
in Canada.
Fuck them. So they trick all of these women into believing this dude is a prince,
Yeah,
right?
I remember that one too.
And then they all have to compete to try to marry him because he's fucking crazy, wealthy, and famous.
But here's what I like about this show is I don't think that they tell those women that that's supposed to
No.
be Prince Harry.
Okay,
They're
Tim.
dropping hints.
Okay,
And the
but
women
Tim,
are putting the shit together themselves. So it's like, it's not on him.
Tim.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the show's winner, Kimberly Birch, right? They talked to her in an interview in 2015, and she said that off camera at night, people from production would stand outside of the rooms where they were sleeping and pretending like they thought they were asleep, and they'd be like, guys, we have to get him back to Buckingham Palace. The royal family's fucking pissed off, right? So they were gaslighting him on this. Then she says it went even further. They actually had a therapist come on set at one point and talk to a few of us who were saying it wasn't him. We found out later that it wasn't a real licensed therapist. It was just someone from the production team saying that you have to learn to trust your mind. I understand you're in a different country and you don't know what's going on, but you have to trust the people here. It's not good for you to keep questioning.
Wow.
Plus, when you look at him, he doesn't really, except for the ginger and like the white pasty face, he doesn't really look like him that much.
Yeah, not really. I mean, a little bit, sure, but then the other one, of course, that got brought up in this conversation was Beauty and the Geek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that one was as
Joe
fun.
Millionaire.
Okay.
I always liked the Swan. I always thought that was especially fucked up.
God, the one where they
the
just got all the
plastic
plastic surgery?
And to compete
That's
to
right.
who was the prettiest. Yep.
That rules.
That was bad.
Foxes, yeah.
Oh,
I love
wait,
it,
hold,
man.
hold on though, like because Fox, the one that they pulled in advance of
Who's Your
ever
Daddy?
showing. No, okay, so in the same year that they were doing Playing It Straight, because there was a rise in like interest in like LGBT programming. So that made it 3 episodes to air, and then they pulled it. Playing It Straight. It did get spin-offs in other countries, then the next year, a whole year later, you could buy the entire season to see how it turned out through like Fox pay-per-view.
I know what we should do with some of that Patreon money, Eddie.
But at the same time, if this can be found in 2004, they have an unaired 2-hour special called Seriously Dude, I'm Gay. And it was supposed to be 2 straight guys competing to who can pass as the most gay.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
And then they would be given a prize. They had to come out to all of their friends. They filmed it and then they pulled it. They never released Seriously Dude, I'm Gay from
Just
2004.
suck the guy's dick and get the money. Leave. That's it. End the show. Top that, motherfucker.
So I'm currently on the Turner Classic Movies website where they're talking about it, but I can't find a download link or anywhere to purchase this.
It was set to premiere June 7th, 2004, but they abruptly removed it from the schedule.
Understandably so. Jesus Christ, man. This is what I'm talking about.
The 2000s were a wild time for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I really miss this era of reality television where people weren't yet clued in that they could get famous by being on reality shows.
Yeah.
So they just behaved terribly.
This is great. So
Okay.
one of the reasons why it got pulled in advance, it was not necessarily because people like had a crisis of conscience. It's that they had sent out a press release to like, you know, for promotion purposes about like what the show was. And in this press release, they have a quote that says, "A heterosexual male's worst nightmare, turning gay overnight." And apparently like GLAAD and various other organizations got their hands on this press release and were like, what now? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad it got stopped.
See, I would have, you could have been a little bit more clever with the tagline. It could have been like, "And they're not even in prison."
I'm sorry. You know,
there's no pay. Well, there is pay involved, so
wait.
No, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So the press release went on to say that like the winner would be selected from a jury of their queers.
Oh no!
My God.
Apparently, this press release has to be a work of art. That has to still exist somewhere. I need to find out. Because I mean, how many things?
Every level on Fox, and it just keep getting promoted. Yeah, let's go on with this project. Yes, all right. I like this press release. It's really catchy. Send that out. Incredible.
Jesus.
My God. So there we go. That's
what I've been consuming is the idea to start watching these fucking movies.
Put that in the blood bank. You know, we should also put in the blood bank if you can find Studs.
Studs. What was that?
That was a dating show on Fox.
Okay.
Oh.
And it was all just about how you can say you want to fuck each other without them saying they want to fuck each other.
Okay. Well, that's fun. But even more fun than that, Tim, Gremlins 2. Now, Matt.
Yes.
You've been banging the drum on this movie forever. I got to ask you, buddy, why?
Yeah, why?
It's the best sequel ever made. It surpasses the original.
So in your mind, it's
Better than
Gremlins 2,
2.
then
Yes.
Godfather 2 after
Empire
that.
Strikes
100%.
Back.
100%.
Yeah.
Like no wavering, nothing.
I will give you The Matrix 2, maybe, but I don't know about that.
But it also, I love the attitude that they went into making the movie. I like. I mean, I guess there's not much I don't like about it. So, but yeah, the main reason why I like it is for probably the reasons a lot of the people don't like it, right? Like, it does not, one, take itself seriously at all, but that's one of the things I love. I always thought it was kind of preposterous, like the original Gremlins trying to still pass itself as somewhat of like a scary concept. It's that weird, you know, when you watch the original one, like I think they didn't know what kind of movie they actually had, you know, and they were trying to kind of walk a fine line between, you know, the Amblin, Steven Spielberg kind of feel with like a creature feature. And the first one's great. Like, I mean, I still love it.
Yeah,
but
they pull it off successfully, Matt. You're walking on thin ice here.
No, again, you're not going to get me. Like, I'm not saying anything is wrong with the first one.
You're damn right there's not.
But I do love the second one more, but it also comes from like, I really like when you get creators kind of like giving the middle finger back to,
I do like
the
that,
people. Because this was one of those situations where they had harped on Joe Dante for years, the director of the original, and obviously this one, to make a sequel. And he just said, no, there's no reason to. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised at how many years there were in between the first one and this one.
And it was until he got like free reign that he kept saying no. And that's because, again, he was not interested in it. He didn't think there was more to do. I'm sure these movies are a pain to shoot.
So he finally got enough power and juice that he was able
basically
to
they said,
to
just
movie
please deliver us a movie. That's it.
It was like Dante's Peak, you might say.
And he went and got the screenwriter Charlie Haas.
Dante peaked.
No one better talk bad about Joe Dante.
Oh, no, I love that guy.
I'll come to New York and fight you, Tim.
My favorite is his brother, Al Dante.
Oh,
that's not even the same word.
I know.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. You took his scolding.
It's just...
Ah, Tim.
Now that being said, I'm curious. I figured this was not going to go over well with Tim. Like but it was kind of
Tim
one of
doesn't
those-
like fun.
Well, see, it's interesting because I think more than I've said this before, but I think more than anyone else, Tim, I think you and I have been on the most. I've been on most podcasts with you because of all the mini bins.
Mm-hmm.
So
and your defending of Halloween movies and such.
Well, and then, the times I've been on here and then the times we've been on the Podcastio together. So I kind of have this sense of like, oh, I think I know what's going to really drive Tim nuts.
Gremlins 2. The new
And
bitch.
And part of me was like, okay, so this is going to go one of two ways. Either like, Tim is going to really love just kind of the anarchy of the movie, or it's going to drive him crazy. And I'm assuming it drove you crazy. So
It drove me
that's
crazy.
exciting.
I figured out how to play it at 1.5 speed.
He went through that much effort. He
Tim is-
learned a new skill.
Yeah, Tim's learning technology because of this movie.
I mean, I guess that's good. I mean, it's something.
I suppose, yeah.
I had to download something to put it on the player to be able to do it.
So Matt, what's your history with it?
So I did see it in the theater. I was like
Wow.
9 years old. And then what actually really cemented my like memory of the movie, because at 9 years old, I liked it for just the silliness of it. Obviously, all of the references and stuff completely over my head. But it was the Nintendo at the NES game, where you played as Gizmo going through the building fighting gremlins, and like that kept me like aware that this was a movie that I enjoyed, basically, just because it was at the time when it probably took 2 years from theater to premiere on any kind of TV station or anything like that. So the tie-in game really did a lot, and I had the novelization.
Didn't even know there was one.
Oh yeah, the novelization.
So like you're hearing inside Gizmo's head what he's thinking.
How do you do a fourth wall break like the Hulk Hogan scene?
They
in the novelization?
they did it. They had art in it where they translated it to the Gremlins, like capturing the author of the novelization and forcing him to tie.
God.
It was actually pretty clever for like a movie movie tie-in where you're like, how manic and crazy the screenplay is.
Tim, what do you think about that, buddy?
Stephen King, you hack.
Yeah. Oh my God. So Tim, what's your history with it, buddy?
I remember my grandmother took me to see the first one in the movie theaters, and I liked it. And I kept wondering why everybody's talking about, oh, this is too scary for kids. I'm like, it wasn't scary. It's okay enough movie. Saw this one time when it came out because it was on VHS and it was available.
Because you were available.
And that was it? You never wanted to dip your
went
toe
to
back
it
in
again.
there?
No, not a fan of the movie. Nope. Sorry.
Okay. What about you, Candice?
This is my second time ever seeing it.
Really?
Yeah, because I watched it. I mean, if it came out in 1990, I was 5. So I know I watched it at some point when I was really small, and it just didn't leave much of an impression on me.
Yeah.
But the first one I grew up watching, that's the one I had access to. And I fucking love that movie. I think it's one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. Possibly the greatest Christmas movie.
It's up
It's
there.
a wonderful life.
It's up there. Shut up, Tim.
It's a Wonderful Life, Tim. Really?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Are you talking about the version of it in this movie that's colorized and has a happier ending?
Yeah, and just seems to be on the loop with them kissing over and over again.
Man.
Yeah, so
How does that movie not have a happy ending? What the fuck does that even mean with a happier
Happier,
ending?
Tim.
how's that-
Happier. It's in color.
What, he gets a double team Donna Reed and Viola at the same time?
Yep. You should watch it.
So let me go back. So I never watched this because every time I thought to do it, everybody'd be like, oh, you don't want to watch Gremlins 2. That movie sucks. So I never watched it. And then I watched it, now, and this movie's fucking fun. What is wrong with you people? This movie is fantastic.
See what I mean about Tim doesn't like fun?
No, exactly.
I enjoy fun when it's done
This
proper.
is fun. This is proper. This is a cartoon movie with the most amazing special effects and puppetry you will ever see in your life.
They're fantastic.
The character that they put in each one of them and the mannerizations, like, it sells it 100% completely. You never question. You're like, oh, that's a puppet.
I hate that fucking
Or mannerisms.
goofy-eyed gremlin one.
Yeah, you didn't like that guy.
Yeah,
You
my
like
kids loved
He's
him.
supposed to annoy you. Like I
Tim, you
think
got like
that's
a
effective.
ant with a messed up eye or something, right? That's what this is. Some nun beat the shit out of you, and she had a crooked eye or something.
One I was always looking up towards the Lord, she said.
Oh man! So I like you guys. I saw this one when it came out. So I would have been 9 or 10 or something. So there's no way I understood what the fuck. It was just like, oh, there's gremlins on the screen doing the shit I wish I could do. You know?
Yeah, they're doing
So,
all those things we all wish we could do.
Yeah. And then I remember it wasn't until a lot later they had that the sketch in Key and Peele.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's what brought everybody back around on it, where he's just describing, you know, the everybody gets to design their own gremlin.
You know what? I only heard about that sketch and found out about it like a couple months ago from a neighbor of mine because, of course, he's heard me talk about Gremlins too, and he goes, "Well, yeah, like
Jesus.
That neighbor?
Fucking neighbor."
He's listening.
Nah,
He listens to podcasts I've been on. So like,
oh god,
he plays D&D. Like
So you go over to his house and be like, "Can I spread the good word of Gremlins 2 to you, sir?"
He writes board game reviews and plays D&D weekly.
No, that's a fucking
so this
nerd.
guy's got no social clout. You can just
Now Eddie
step
wants to
all
have
over
him on
him.
the show.
He's exactly who I would talk to about this kind of stuff. He just happens to live next door to me, which is great, actually. But he said, like, oh, yeah, like Key and Peele. And I was like, oh, they did something about Gremlin? So I had no idea. And we're walking kids to school, and he pulls it up on his phone, and I'm just sitting there cracking up. Because, one, I actually kind of know the writer of this movie. Like, I've talked to him a couple times.
Oh, shit.
So he is very not at all like the strategy planning session that they portray in that. But that being said, Key is an amazing Joe Dante. Like, he looked just like him. It's insane.
Oh man! So a little bit of the notes here, production notes, etc. So of course we've got reprising his role as Billy Peltzer, Zach Galligan. Fantastic!
What a cutie!
Yeah, your type?
Oh, yeah, definitely. From the first
That
Gremlins
tracks.
and Waxwork? Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so now we'll give one up to Tim here. Phoebe Cates playing Kate.
Oh, I
And
guess...
I'll take it.
I was going to say,
Tim's going to pass.
I have in here, would Tim rather fuck the redhead or Phoebe Cates?
Yeah,
Oh, the redhead! Oh, are you fucking crazy,
Well,
Candice?
it's Phoebe Cates. A lot of people
With
love
the way
Phoebe
she smoked a
Cates.
fucking cigarette? Holy shit, man. I just saw smoking cigarettes again.
Yeah, I thought,
Tim's a
I
Marla.
don't know. A lot of people have that, Phoebe Cates is their special first woman, sort of thing.
I saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High when it came out, so yes, that scene is something I will never forget as long as I live. But
Yep.
come on, that redhead with the way she talked and she's dressing like that, and she's down the fuck.
And another one for you, Candice. Howie Mandel does the voice of Gizmo.
Yay! He's okay.
Yeah, not that big of a fan.
He's all right.
Then, I mean, horror royalty. I have to announce, of course, Christopher Lee is Dr.
Welcome
Catheter.
back, Christopher Lee.
Fantastic. Yeah, every time he's on the screen, he is a pleasure.
And he's here in this movie because he wanted to work with Joe Dante in order to apologize for being in The Howling 2.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Because
I
obviously,
get that.
famously, Joe Dante did not direct Howling 2.
No, he did not.
And he's got a real bad relationship with the owners of that. Because I
can't imagine why.
I don't know if I told this on the air. Like one time, I wrote a Howling meets Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Okay, yeah.
Comic. All 4 issues are written, and it was through Joe Dante. Like it was with co-plotted more or less with Joe Dante, but it had to be done on the sly because the rights owners of the Howling series really hate him because they hate the first movie.
What?
Yeah,
They hate the first.
Well, because the guy that wrote the book, the novel that the first movie was based on, thinks that Joe Dante like butchered his.
I've read that book. The movie's better.
Yeah, the movie's way better. Yeah, it's written by John Sayles. Like, yeah, it's way better. Like, but anyways, I was working with a publisher, and they had Kolchak, and I long story short is like Joe Dante reviewed and gave quotes for my original series White Picket Fences. He because he'd gotten sample copies, and I actually have a Gremlins 2 postcard that he sent me with all of his with actually praising something I wrote. So that is like, of course, my prized possession.
Wow, that rules.
And
man.
then through that we got I worked with him, and I said like, hey, they want me to do this thing with Kolchak, and they wanted like the Howling because the rights were either super cheap or like so in dispute that no one was gonna like come after them. And he goes, okay, like this is what I would do, but you cannot tell like anyone. And the only reason I'm able to tell the story is because the whole series never came out. It was written.
Gotcha.
All 4 issues were written, 2 were illustrated, and then the rights to the Howling actually somehow got sorted. And
that sucks.
But yeah, it really sucks because I actually thought I did a really good job with that one. And it's like one of those things where I still look back and go,
slip it to us under the table.
I think I still have the scripts.
I have it
on
Dropbox.
eBay.
What's that?
I'm going to put that shit up on eBay as soon as I get my
Yeah,
hands
no
on it.
one's going to care.
Yeah, no.
But
you would be the guy that bought it on eBay, Tim.
But
Tim
I do
sells it
love
to himself. He forgets.
That would be amazing. But yeah,
he
I
forgets
do
what his
love
other
that.
sign-in is.
Oh shit! Look, there's a market for it. I better scoop them all up while I can.
yeah. No, I'm going to jack the price up and resell them. Ha ha. Then Tim, one for you, buddy. Tony Randall, the voice of Brain Gremlin.
Fantastic.
Really, Tony Randall?
Yeah. Felix, the Odd Couple.
Dude, there's
buddy.
so much stuff for Tim in this. Like,
I
there's
know.
so many
much
old
Tim
references.
and Chef Robbie.
That's
on.
that's one of my problems I have with this. Is like, how the fuck do these things know about shit that would happen before Gizmo was even born? But
oh my god,
go ahead.
You don't know how old Gizmo is.
And one, Gizmo is hundreds of years old. 2,
Yeah, he's living in a fucking wooden bamboo fucking cage in Chinatown. How's he figuring out about shit that's going on in the rest of the world?
He watches TV, Tim.
TV.
No, that Rambo thing is on fucking loop. That's Rambo porn. That old man
That's
is
true.
watching
That's
Rambo
true.
porn.
That wasn't
So
on
then
their TV. That was a TV that just got dropped off.
Then another one of my favorites, underrated actor, but I love him and everything he's in. John Glover plays
Oh my
Daniel
God.
Clamp. And
He's
goddamn,
good in this movie. I'll say that.
yet again, another bloody buddy, of course.
Yeah.
He was Saperstein in The Mouth of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Glover is
There's
a
a
delight
few bloody
every
buddies.
time he's in.
Oh, yeah. For me to try to call them all out is ridiculous on this movie. Then the other ones I wanted
Dick
to
Butkus.
just call out. Dick Butkus was in it, yes, and so was Hightower
Hulk
from
Hogan.
Police Academy.
You know, one thing I'm happy about watching this is because as a podcast I listen to, The Projection Booth. I don't know if anybody else knows it. Great show. It's like us. It like goes for 3.5 hours, but there's like actual information on that show versus us.
Yeah.
He does like great interviews with people, like anybody can get. And his show always opens up with the montage of all that stuff. And it's that one of the things in it is that Hulk Hogan thing. And I was like, what the fuck movie is that from? And now I know.
Now you know.
So stupid. Then, of course, Dick Miller reprising his role as Murray Futterman, one of my favorites, Dick Miller.
Yes, amazing. And I like how they quickly cover up the fact that, like, he was dead. But they just Joe Dante's like, always get, he said, every movie that I make, Dick Miller's in. So that was one of the tasks that they had to do.
He could
right
have been his twin brother.
No, you need it to be just Futterman. You not just that. You need it to be that one because he has to have the experience, right? Like he has to have been able to see what was happening. I like that they were just like, oh, you know what? All that stuff happened.
It's funny because when they
recovered.
Introduced him and they like established that he was in the first movie, I'm like, what the fuck was he in the first movie?
I was very happy to see so much Dick Miller in this movie. Never was so
Can
happy
you
to
edit
see
that to
Dick.
right out? Can you just, I was going to say, edit that Miller out.
And finally, one of the two of them, Getty Watanabe, who plays Mr. Katsuji, aka the Asian stereotype of a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
That's, of course, you might remember from 16 Candles.
Yeah, I remember. Oh man, what
basic-
happened to those jokes about the Japanese people just doing nothing but taking pictures no matter what? When did that joke die?
Here you go.
Let's
Hopefully,
bring it back, Tim.
yeah. You should ask your wife about that, Tim.
Oh, Korean.
If that's a good fun joke. And finally, in one of my favorites, it's a very slight role, but she was fantastic. Kathleen Freeman is Microwave Mars.
Oh,
my God.
Yeah.
She was great.
Of course, from the Blues Brothers, Inner Space, and Naked Gun movies.
Just watching her drink the sherry, because I remember that there was a show called The Frugal Gourmet.
Yep.
Where that guy was always cooking with wine and he was always drinking it, and it was one of those things. As a kid, I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's what
That's
They
what
always
everyone
used to
does.
drink. They always used to drink on those cooking shows.
Oh yeah.
But-
I remember the one that I remember from
fucked up.
the Galloping Gourmet.
Yes.
Were they on
yep.
horseback? And that's how they
No,
cooked?
I don't know why the fuck it was called the Galloping Gourmet though. For real. You say that, Candice. You're right. Why the fuck was he galloping?
all horse meat.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Just cooking up horse meat.
It's a secret ingredient right in the title.
I know he was French.
It was like he went on to work for Burger King in Europe when they had all that horse meat in their burgers a few years ago, and everyone seems to forget about that.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I just had Burger King today.
Well, I think it was in Europe where like people tested it and they're like, "This is horse meat."
I had McDonald's
Yeah.
today, Tim.
They tipped everybody off because over in the UK, the burger was called the Clopper.
Oh, Eddie.
Oh man, if only
That's
you
right.
were writing headlines in like 2009 or I don't remember when that was, but
Yeah. You know what? They should have. The New York Post should hire me, Tim.
yeah.
Because I'm right up there with that level of writing headlines.
That was a
Oh
good
my
one.
God.
Yes.
Thank you. So this movie starts out.
By the way, I just went to Google and Galloping Gourmet. I just typed in Gallop, and Galloping Gourmet is the fourth thing coming up on Google.
Because it knows what you usually search for, old man shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got Google old.
Two
Tim.
volumes of the TV show, only $18 on Etsy. Etsy, what the fuck?
On Etsy.
Yeah.
So someone's just like had them
That's eBay for
recorded
old
and then
people.
like made them. like
Yeah.
they're gonna be like a nice silk screened like cover for your burned DVDs that they're gonna send you.
Oh, DVD. Now this is going to be VHS, and at the end of it, it's going to be some kid's like third grade high school recital for Christmas.
Holy shit, the guy is still alive making videos.
The Galloping Gourmet.
I mean, he might not be galloping too
Did
fast
he-
anymore, but
Was he a diddler?
What?
I think that might have been the
He
Frugal
was.
Gourmet guy.
Yeah, Frugal Gourmet was a diddler.
Oh,
That's
what?
what it was.
Yeah, I
You
think I
got to
ended up
watch
hearing
out
about
for
that.
them.
Finger gourmet.
Every once in a while, you catch one of them that gets caught with their finger in the pie. If you know what I
Watch
mean.
out for those gourmets.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, be careful around your gourmets, Chef Robbie. So this opens up with a really obnoxious Warner Brothers intro.
What?
But still written and
Just-
directed by Chuck Jones. Like
That
so
wasn't
Chuck-
obnoxious. That was adorable.
I was going to ask, do you think that this is one of the first examples of a studio fucking around with this logo in the beginning of a movie? With changing it?
Yeah, this
could
movie
be.
is way ahead of its time as far as its like meta humor.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things. This was at the time where there was, I think it was all before like Tiny Toons and stuff came out, in the early
yeah.
to mid 90s, where Warner Brothers was trying to bring back like the idea of doing like Looney Tunes shorts in theaters. And so that this was,
Dude,
I
I
think
would
their
take that
attempt at
so
that.
much more than watching that fucking idiot talk about getting free popcorn because she signed up for the fucking app, buying her
God.
tickets over the instead of
Yeah.
buying them at the box office.
Yeah,
True.
some idiots doing like trivia about a fucking movie you don't care about.
Yeah.
That
And I always
bullshit.
when
know
it's,
the
and it's
I'm with
always,
you.
of course, like the dumbest trivia in the world. It's always like Indiana Jones uses chains,
Yeah.
you know, a hammer, a whip, and you're like, okay, all right. No,
And the whip is written bigger than all the other words.
It's in a different font.
It has a sound effect
different
when
color.
they say it.
But I have to say, it's funny because Joe Dante, I don't know if this is where it started, but he obviously worked for Warner Brothers a lot, but he ended up directing that Looney Tunes Back in Action movie. What was it, 2005 or something like that? So it's funny that like this starts with that, and as obviously through and through like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
100%. Yeah, the entire movie is a Looney Tunes cartoon.
And there's actually a bunch in that Looney Tunes movie where they have a whole lab. There's actually things in that movie that I thought were in this movie. Because there's more like references to, you know, to things that Joe Dante loves. Like, but yeah, so it's just kind of funny that there was like almost like a weird little bookend.
Did they also start it out with the shot of New York from Superman 4? Because
I got
that's
nervous.
what they did here.
I saw those twin towers. I saw something flying towards the air. I'm like, what the fuck?
You thought it was the wrong movie. You're like, what the
No,
fuck?
I was like, those gremlins are hardcore.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You think the Gremlins caused 9/11?
Come to find out it was just a coincidence that they were all taken over. There was no plan to crash them.
No, I think the Gremlins, they got on that flight that was headed down toward the Pentagon. They caused it to wreck.
And what United
prematurely.
93 was actually Gremlins.
Yep. The Gremlins, they took care of that one for us.
And just to cover it up so the government didn't let us know that their gremlins are real, they did 9/11.
It all adds up.
And then, that's why, you know what? Because, of course, Bush couldn't say we need to fight the war on gremlins. Yeah. He had to say we had to fight the war on terror.
You know what?
You know what? It all adds up.
Gremlins are known for terrorizing people.
Tune in 2 weeks on the Mighty Peculiar. We're going to cover this whole
Gremlins
thing,
conspiracy.
actually. Yep.
Well, not to mention the fact that Dick Cheney is just a gremlin in disguise.
Yeah.
So that tracks. That all adds up. So and we zoom on down to Chinatown. We go over to Mr. Wing's shop where he's being approached by a couple of suits, a couple of stiffs, and I love they bring in a television, set it down, and they don't plug it in anywhere.
Yeah, it's already plugged in.
No, he's got the electric rats running around in Chinatown. Just drop the cord.
Oh yeah. The electric rat. Damn, when we get to the electric rats, I just have it written down here like this sounds like a Yobo scam. In some way, you're gonna.
It is a good idea. There are so many rats in New York City. You're
gonna figure out a way. Yeah. You're gonna figure out a way to like harvest static electricity into rechargeable batteries off of the rats or something.
The mayor needs to hire Ben.
Well, he needs Willard to
control Ben.
Corral it all.
We need to get Crispin Glover out there to take care of it. No, so and basically the idea is he's offering him. He's like, look, I'm going to buy this shop because it's the last thing we need before we're going to put up New Chinatown, which is this giant like shopping mall with a dragon wrapped around it.
It just maybe it's a New York joke, but I just looked at it and went, "Holy shit, that's Hudson Yards." It's a New York joke. Look it up.
That's a New York joke. Yeah.
All righty.
And we gotta say, this is Robert Picardo, the main.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not used to
goon
seeing him with so much hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Forrester in this,
and an amazing job. I love him. I love him in everything. So like, that's one of those. Things
okay. Yeah. I got some notes about that guy later on towards the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, you mean the last scene with it?
I want to see the scene that came before that.
That last scene is kind of almost like the end of Inception. Like now, when the top waver? Like, is he into it? Like that's kind of the way is Inception.
I got that little. Well, what are you gonna do? Smirk off.
It's like one of those things. Like, hey, look, we're locked in the bathroom. Everybody's out of the building. Nobody's ever gonna know what's gonna happen. And as far as I know, that thing can't talk.
Yeah, when in Rome, fuck a gremlin.
That's the same.
Although it can say things like, I wish you would commit.
Yeah, what's up with that other thing? How come someone that can talk?
I love it.
Okay. Because there's no logic.
I was going to say, if you're like, the whole point is there's no logic. Like the whole point is like this was supposed to be a product movie, and so they delivered a product movie in the most chaotic way.
If this was the first movie and the original Gremlins didn't exist, I might have enjoyed this movie a lot better. But it's just it's like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing, right? From 1 to 2, the difference is just so huge. What they're doing.
Yeah, you know what? You might be right. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was probably a similar departure like this one.
Yeah.
Off of Gremlins. Yeah. So, okay. I could track that. So, yeah, he tells them to fuck off. He's not selling. They leave and leave him the television just because they're nice, I suppose. I add, maybe there's like some sort of a spy device in there, like a microphone or something.
Wait, hold on a second. All right, so first I thought the TV was just on a loop with Rambo. Right? So they leave the TV. So the guy recorded that message over his Rambo porn, where he just has that Rambo scene on loop over and over again. But when Gizmo sees it, he goes, Rambo.
Well, because Gizmo takes the remote and turns the channel.
So he knows how to use it.
Yes.
So he's watched TV before.
And he's been like, and that's why, the guy basically says, like, not TV again. So it's like this has been a reoccurring problem.
Yeah.
So he already has a TV then. So why are they bringing the TV?
Because
don't know.
Clamp is rich and ostentatious. That's the whole point.
Plus, I have written down that fucking TV probably weighs 180 fucking pounds.
Oh, that thing.
That's why they're like, nah, fuck it, you can keep it.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It's being wheeled in like it's substitute teacher day. Like it's just like, oh, okay, I guess that's what we're doing today.
So, yeah. The old guy's like, don't watch Rambo. That's trash. And then we just cut to 6 weeks later, and he's dead.
Yeah.
So okay, just wait the guy out. Then I guess if he's dead, Gizmo's just gonna have to Oscar the Grouch it, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to go find a trash can, climb in, start singing songs to kids or something. I don't know.
He's gonna be working the streets.
They don't.
Oh no, Gizmo.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Gizmo.
Just give him like 24 hours on the street. He won't be humming no more.
Oh, he'll be giving hummers.
Yeah.
No, the only problem is he can't swallow after midnight.
Or get wet.
That's true. Yeah. That's peak time.
Yeah. But no, instead, some just fucking weirdo finds him.
That's a bloody buddy.
And,
no. From Terminator 2.
He is. In fact, yes. And played by twins.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys who work for this guy are just hanging around the back alleys of Chinatown looking for weird stuff?
Probably. Yeah. Like, that's their job.
Do you know how many diseases there must be back there?
Like
They're
they
not
say,
looking for
if you
diseases.
I'm joking.
Well, I mean, he is, remember, because he takes the fucking secretary's
He's like, did my malaria get here? I was like, this
Julia
is my
Sweeney,
hero.
That's right. Yeah, Julia Sweeney, the Pat from the It's Pat movie. Oh God! So, yeah, they just bulldoze through the fucking. They don't even go. There's probably priceless antiques in there.
Yeah,
but he's like, yeah, fuck that. And just rips the place apart. So Gizmo busts out. He's got to figure out his life. But while he's doing that, while he's trying to figure his life out, we cut to Billy and Kate, who've moved from their small town in the middle of nowhere to New York City. And everybody is being very rude to them.
Yeah, because it's New York. Everybody's an asshole in New York.
Yeah, they can't get a cab. So they have to like walk all the way to Clamp Tower.
Clamp Tower.
Clamp Tower. Sorry.
They're walking too fucking slow to begin with.
See, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
See, the New Yorkers even bitching about them.
Sometimes, you know what? When you're walking with 2 people, 3 people, sometimes you got to make a single fucking line when you're walking down the block.
That's true. You don't want to take up more than one fucking spot. You're blocking off the entire road. Everybody's stuck behind you. Fucking dickhead.
Yeah, I don't drive, but I can only imagine. It's got to be like the same thing. Like you're stuck on a fucking road, you're driving somebody fucking ahead of you, just going like 8 miles an hour.
Yeah, for me, it's just like annoying families having conversations or like family reunions at the store.
Oh, yeah, when they block off the entire aisle.
I'm trying to get through the fucking aisle and they're just, oh my
God. Or they
God.
leave their fucking cart all fucking crooked shit. You can't even get down the fucking aisle and they give you the evil eye when you touch their cart. I'm touching your fucking food.
No, I just move it, and if they look at me, I tell them they're welcome.
I usually just say, "Excuse me," and then they just move.
Yeah.
So you're
No, they're looking around. They go, "Where did that voice come from?" And they,
Oh shit! This place is haunted.
Somebody's kid just moved my car. What's going on? Oh man. So they go to Clamp's tower, and did Peltzer invent everything in this building?
That's what I
Nothing
said. I have
works.
that literal note.
Because, like, in the first one, okay, his dad was like a bumbling inventor. That his stuff was
He over-engineered
some of
everything.
it, but right,
Oh, right,
nothing
point accident.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but in this one, it's just Clamp. Everything of Clamps is way over engineered.
Yeah, and this is a trope that I miss in movies, was the mall of the future that had like everything in it. You could live there. And in horror movies, it was always a killer mall of the future, like Poltergeist 3.
Yeah.
And kind of like
Or
chopping mall,
Mall.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like how we
you
just
give me
like given up on the future now in movies. Like, no, fuck
Yeah.
that shit. Here's a mall.
Well,
in fact, here's a mall from
we-
the 80s, and you're going to like it.
because we never got like automated fucking flushers or any of that
We never
shit
got
to
any
work,
of that
so we
shit.
gave
Nothing.
up. No, it doesn't work, so we gave up on it. We're like, you know what? Fuck it. Technology sucks.
Let's just go back to the Stone Age. That was a good time, right?
We got video phones,
Yeah.
right?
That's true. We did get the Dick Tracy
We
video
did get
watch,
tablets.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some
not
Star
but
Trek.
not meal
But
replacement.
I don't have no
tablets.
Rosie cleaning my fucking house.
I got a Roomba cleaning my
Yeah.
fucking house.
Oh, that's true, Tim. We got Roombas.
Roombas
Can't fuck a
Roombas
Roomba,
can't
though.
sash you back, though.
That's true. They aren't sassy. We do,
We need more
we do need them to
sassiness.
sass.
I don't know. My Roomba's a dick. Like that thing is
What?
always right where you don't want it to be. Like you're getting ready to open the fridge and the Roomba's fucking magically right there, blocking it.
I think
Keeps
that's an
holding.
early warning sign. That's like
It's
the thing
hungry.
that, like, in a horror movie, is like the thing you brush off a couple times. You're like, oh, that's weird.
It does happen
But, like, you
so
should
much
be paying attention.
that it's a joke in the house. Every single time it happens, we're like, the
Yeah.
goddamn Roomba's doing it again.
Okay, we need to make a Killer Roomba movie.
That's a guard that already exists. It has to.
I mean, we had the drone movie where the drone flew up the guy's asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this
We
one we
need-
do it
yeah, we
all.
need
The
the
whole
killer.
movie is from the point of view of the Roomba.
There is a killer sofa movie.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what? I'm with you on this one too. Maybe the guy's banging the Roomba, and then he gets a girlfriend, and it's jealous. So
And then she's like a neat freak.
Wakes up with
So
a
she's
knife
cleaning
over
all
her.
the time, right? Now, what do I need this Roomba for,
Yeah.
huh?
yep. Hey, we might as well just put it in the closet. Yeah. You know what? I'm smelling a movie here.
Yeah.
I'm
Come
telling
on,
you.
Netflix is going to
So-
give us like $80 million to make it.
So Billy, we find out his job is that he paints buildings,
He paints concepts.
and
Yeah.
he paints concepts of buildings.
What a job.
And so his boss, Red, comes up to him and gives him shit because he's got bushes in front of the building and she wants trees. So that becomes like a major sticking point, as well as like just pointing out, you know, the dickhead grunt guy kind of swings by and he's like, what are you doing here? You got a fucking plant over here. It could bring aphids in it. You think everybody should just bring their own little
Yeah,
individual
she's the office
crap
sucker,
here?
right? Whatever management
yeah.
wants, that's what she's going to claim that she either said
Yeah.
or told them to do or not to do, depending on what they want.
Yeah. And then we just
Which
cut
is hot.
to they have this.
You know what? I need to say, this is good, really dumb small detail, but Billy has 2 comic books.
Oh, I
in
have
his
the same
cubicle,
note.
Firestorm and Batman and the Outsiders, and I have both of those issues.
Oh, so he's a DC guy.
Yeah, well, it's Warner Brothers, and this is a time when...
That's right.
Yeah. Somebody's got to buy those comic books.
I mean, there's a nice Batman. There's
Yeah.
another Batman joke in this, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or in
Oh
this movie.
God.
That was a little overt.
Oh.
but-
Well,
By the way, we got to get into that entire Gremlin too,
Yeah.
because that's just poorly planned out. So,
but you know what? And it's worth. I mean, obviously, it's funny how I think the Clamp character that John Glover plays is obviously very specifically a very specific version of Donald Trump, right? Like now,
Right.
like the context has changed so much that like it probably doesn't even look like him at all.
Hold on. I disagree with you. When I first watched this movie, I was thinking I was getting the Donald Trump thing, but I went, no, this is Ted Turner.
Well, no, it's both.
Yes.
It's both. Like, and that's the thing, because
it's an amalgam.
if you look at the cover of Clamp's book, it's The Art of the Deal. It's all the same typeset.
True.
It's
yes,
just,
I took New York. Yes.
Yeah,
but he's playing because anybody in New York, even then, Donald Trump was always an asshole. Nobody played him as good. So I'm getting more of the Ted Turner thing with him than Donald Trump because he's not evil or stupid on purpose.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is like, I think at a certain point, like maybe Donald Trump wasn't, if you were not in New York, he wasn't in your face so much that like, you could probably look at him as more of like maybe he's kind of like an affable buffoon, like, okay, whatever. Like, so that's one thing that I think is interesting now that like, it's still a good parody, I think, for the most part. It hits a lot of the right notes, but he's almost too likable.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm not picking up the Trump. Yeah.
And that's honestly exactly what it is. But in his offhand ways about like where it still really exists is like his whole like I'm gonna demolish like Chinatown and I'm gonna build it like way better than it ever was. Those things that still feel very Trump like, or like the idea of the fact that standee that you see of him is him like palming the head of the Statue of Liberty. Like, so there are these things that I feel like were almost ahead of their time in terms of like what about Trump to parody? Like, the idea of like him just putting his name on everything was the easy thing. But then like the symbolism of him like manhandling the Statue of Liberty feels like way ahead of its time, actually.
Grab him by a pussy. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
What the?
Candice died. So
Candice, I'm not talking about you. Calm down.
And actually, what years was... So when
my
was Trump married
Sorry, my
to...
dog freaked out, and she was sitting under my desk, and she jumped up so hard it actually picked my desk up. Scared the shit out of me.
Jeez.
Sorry.
No, when was Trump married to Marla Maples?
93 to 99.
So they must have been dating then, right? Because the redhead's name is Marla, and they hint that they're hooking up at the end. So
because he divorced Ivana in 90.
Okay,
but he was already banging Marla.
There.
Wow.
So that was a dig then, definitely at Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he paid the New York Post to put the headline in where she says best sex she ever had.
See? Yeah. All right. I was just thinking because it seemed like it was at the very end.
Tim, you need to get that call.
Oh, sorry. Nope.
Tim listening to a little Give Me Shelter.
Oh, sorry.
Well, little Stones break from Tim there now. All right. So then we see that they've got this crazy closed circuit television system that's on everything in the building. And they just zoom in on poor Henry Gibson trying to have a smoke break.
From the burbs.
He's going to lose his medical benefits for his experiments in the burbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
he had to
moved out. Yeah. Okay. And you know what? It would make sense that he worked with Dr. Catheter.
Yeah.
Mr. Mengele up there with all of his twins and elephants and germs and
fucking hero, man. Dude is awesome.
Yeah.
And the cow with the hat on.
I am happy to produce milk.
It's milk. It's like brain. It's either is it brainwashing the cow or is that like the cow thinking that?
I think that's supposed to be the cow thinking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
By the way, I guess there was supposed to be a cow gremlin at some point, but they're like, nah, never mind.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised
if it's a cow gremlin, would it be like a centaur, but with like a cow body and a gremlin body, where the human body would be?
I'm going to say a 50-50 split down the middle.
So like left side,
never see
left side is gremlin, right side is cow.
Yep.
So
you never see that.
It's like one side's super short.
Yeah, one side is all shriveled and stunted.
so you can milk it and jerk it off at the same
Ew.
time.
And it creates more of itself.
True.
Spray it with the milk.
It could eat its own. Oh, because they chew their own cud for so long, then it'd be always eaten after midnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, the twins though, like you said, Candice, Dawn and Dan Stanton from Terminator 2. If you have twins, by the way, folks, two things. Number one, they are going to 69. That will happen in their
Never
life.
when you're looking.
It's just natural. And it happens whenever you're not watching them. Number two, don't name them things that are like an alliteration of each other
every
or rhyme.
goddamn time. Larry and Barry, Sierra and Samantha. We've known so many fucking
Dan
twins.
and Stan.
And it's just like,
Well,
it
goddamn one of
happens.
them did that.
Yeah, it's like people just can't help themselves. You got to know that's not good, right?
Don't do that.
Plus, they're gingers. That's you putting even
Also-
more fucking pressure on those kids.
I had gotten a little high a few
No
days
shit.
ago.
You don't
unlike
say.
unlike myself, I did, and I was really just thinking, like most Germans do. I was really thinking about twins for a while, and this thought came into my head. I was like, if I had a friend, like let's say in my 20s, right? If I had a friend who had kids and they had two boys and they were twins, right? I'll bet you I would switch them.
Wait, like you would switch them?
Yeah. So, like, let's say they had little Dan in one bed and little Stan in the other bed, and I'd be like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
When I got up to go to the bathroom, I would switch them.
Okay.
So you're just like
And I was trying to think of,
dog
like-
tooth experimenting the parents. Like, what are you doing?
Don't let any
Well,
around your children.
I-
should have known that already, but this
Don't
should
let them
cement
around
it
your
for you.
twins.
Right? Yeah.
Can
I mean, I think regular is fine, but the twins.
But can I tell you though that it's not to see if the parents would catch it or anything. It's just, and I'd
give
never
the kids an
mention it.
identity
Yeah, because
crisis?
giving a kid,
No, they
kid doesn't know his
wouldn't know.
fucking name at 2 months old, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would be the only one that knew that the Dan was really Stan.
But what if, like, one of the parents, like, really, like, you know what? I love both my twins, but I think Dan's going to be the one that makes it.
I feel
He's gonna be the better twin out of the two.
I feel like this was used as I feel like this was used as a plot point in Dark Shadows at some point.
I'm
Like,
sure it
had to have been.
I'm sure
I have a
it
question
was.
about twins. If one twin
Okay.
sister gets stuck in the laundry machine while the other twin sister is at the market,
Does she feel
Yeah.
it? And I'm going to say yes. Because just for the funniness of it, I'm going to say yes, Tim. So it turns out that this lab upstairs, that by the
On
way,
the
they're just
51st
renting
floor.
for
Yep.
yeah, for doing genetic experiments.
Slice of life.
Splice of life. I love it. I
Oh
love
yeah, love that.
Great name. Well, they've got Gizmo. And so the twins are showing the doctor. They're like, yeah, we found this weird rodent thing in Chinatown. And he's all like, yeah, you know, if you want to go find something crazy, go downtown. So then they're like, well, check out what it does. So they just put on some music and it just comes out and
My
starts
God.
dancing.
I remember when this movie came out. This was such a fucking scene that they showed over and over and over again. Like when they were doing reviews of it, any kind of promotion, anything like that at all. Just I remember this dance so fucking well.
Well, it's because this was the big like.
Oh, look at your feet.
Showing, what they couldn't
Right.
really do, what they had to hide so much in the original Gremlins. This was their big like, oh, now we can actually see the legs.
But what I don't understand about it is, I mean, obviously they're semi-imposing the fucking thing on it, right? They're doing something. They're drawing on the screen, whatever, because they probably didn't have computers back then that do CGI feed in. But why do the twins look so weird with the way that they're dancing?
Because they're supposed to.
No, it's
Because they're
unnatural the way that they're moving.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Watch it.
I think
it's not like just like I'm not a good dancer or something like that. It looks like the way the film is moving at a different speed almost. Like they're speeding it up a little bit.
That could be, yeah. Maybe they had to like speed up the gremlin dancing to match with them or something. Yeah, I don't know. It looks bizarre though, that's for sure. Also, not the most fun. This scene,
No.
I say it goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah, it's his favorite song.
But while they are
Rich
up
Man or
there,
Rich Man? Who would have known?
While they're up there,
Gizmo.
we have a dude making a delivery.
To the sickest
this
person
guy-
in the world.
Yeah, and this guy making the delivery hears Gizmo whistle his song. Tim, do you know who that delivery man is?
I know that guy is because I remember that guy. He got his shit pushed in.
Oh my, what?
The delivery guy?
He was in Training Day. That was the first thing he was in. But he's also Tuco from Breaking Bad, which Candice doesn't know
Yes.
because she didn't get that far into the season.
Don't care.
Raymond Cruz, Tuco from Breaking Bad, is the delivery guy.
He's also the guy, one of the gangsters in Training Day at the end of the movie.
Yep. So he catches, he hears that sound of the Gizmo's theme song or whatever the fuck it is, and then he's just like whistling it through the office. And Billy, he hears the song. He's like, wait a minute, where'd you hear that? Oh, up in that lab where they run cheese graters on animals or whatever. He's like, oh shit, well I better go up there and check what's going on. So he disguises himself as a copier repairman by grabbing a toolbox.
In a suit.
Yeah.
This place where they all have badges that they have to like swipe
They
to
have
read
QR
who the
codes.
person is and everything.
Well, but
Yeah,
but he's going from like actually working for Clamp to just like person renting from Clamp. So
Right. But I feel like in that lab they should probably know everybody.
you saw
I don't
the
know.
receptionist, right? You saw what
True,
the stuff they're doing.
true.
I don't know if
Half the
I don't know if
staff
they
is
really
sick.
got it all together.
That's fair. Julius Sweeney's not really paying a lot of attention. So yeah, so he sneaks in there, and this is when we get to see some of their experiments, like feeding a rat electric cheese.
They have
So,
electricity
now
in a
the-
syringe.
Well, yeah, because that's the gene for electricity.
Yeah.
Tim.
Oh. We
They get it
finally
from
found
electric-
that gene. Okay, good.
This is how cutting
Yeah,
edge
they-
your science is. You just don't understand it.
Now I can choose if
They
my
got it
baby has
from-
blue eyes and electricity. Nice. What a world.
Well, Tim, they got it from electric eels.
See,
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. I don't know
Yeah.
what anyone's
Checkmate,
problem.
Yobo.
All right, you got me there. I can't argue with science.
Right.
I can say
Uh,
that I have genetically spliced E. coli with the DNA of a blowfish, or not a blowfish, the ones that glow in the dark, and I made glow in the dark
the
E. coli.
bioluminescent ones.
Yeah,
All right.
Why?
Candice got a coli and then had sex
it
with
was
a
for
puffer
college.
fish.
It was one of my classes.
She's working with Dr. Catheter. That's why.
I wish.
Put
man,
that shit in the
rocks.
cows. Put that shit in the cows so when you eat a hamburger, you can see, oh shit, that's glowing over there. That means that there's E. coli.
Like you can actually get
Yeah,
a
plus-
clone of one of your pets and make it glow in the dark. Like that's a
You mean
thing you can
what?
actually pay for and get
Wait,
See,
why
and you-
the fuck
and Tim,
would anybody
you
want to do
think-
that?
for the novelty.
You think that this movie is so
Glow in the dark?
illogical and unrealistic?
It caused a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of shit, yeah. No, I want to figure out why the fuck somebody would want... Or I can understand cloning your pet, but why make it glow in
yeah.
the dark? What the fuck?
Yeah, they said
Nightlight.
it.
Makes it easier to find
Well,
at
it
night.
was like in my genetics and human affairs
Maybe
class.
that dog died because he got hit by a car. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to
yep.
make that shit glow in the dark.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's like a lot of rock musicians and like celebrities who just want like weird, unusual pets.
I don't know, Candice. This sounds like some weird website you're getting that information
That was in college. Jesus Christ.
That sounds like some weird college you're in. It sounds like some college in Florida or Missouri. So
Yeah, Candice, I don't know what kind of weird organic chemistry you fuckers were doing.
Yeah, I
Was
made
that
glow
the
in the dark E.
creation
coli.
college?
It-
Creationist
We
college.
were learning how to splice genes.
Their engineering department was building a life-sized ark.
Yep.
They were going to make a bunch of glow-in-the-dark animals to put on it. It's like a
that's
rave
how.
for
Yeah,
animals.
that's how Noah saved on electricity. They all glue in the dark.
So Billy gets scared by a big spider. Then he finds Gizmo, and apparently Gizmo knows about the cultural norm of wearing a black armband when you're in mourning.
See. Yeah, come on. Did he make that himself?
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
he did.
So Gizmo's sentient,
Damn.
right? You can't just keep him locked up in a cage all the time. He actually has
Plus,
rights.
Yes.
but they don't know that.
Now, Tim, when we're playing the game of did they make that for themselves, the wardrobe that we have on
They're
the
very
Gremlins
talented.
It's amazing.
throughout this
Yeah.
movie,
They made their own T-shirts.
Yeah.
They have fantastic. Their wardrobe department.
They made a
Gremlins.
no
They have
Gizmo shirt.
anti-Gizmo
Yeah,
t-shirts.
in their size.
Yes.
They have postman uniforms in their size.
Yeah.
Yes. Whenever that's one thing I love about the Gremlins in this. Whenever they're like monkeying around with something they're not supposed to, they're wearing a repairman outfit
exactly.
for it. Their size. It's
so
fucking
fucking
great.
funny.
So
They know how to use intercoms.
Well, and look, I guess good time to say this is like, with Joe Dante's, again, he's not shy about, he is proud of the first movie. And again, the idea that like he was being pushed to make a sequel, I don't think this would happen like this anymore. I think nowadays, like Warner Brothers would have just gone to a different director. But like, I don't know if this.
I think nowadays you're locked in. If you're directing this, you're signing on for the next.
Yeah, you
3
probably
pictures.
already signed on. But I'm sure it also maybe with that this was still like Amblin, so Steven Spielberg was probably involved at some level in terms of like saying no, it's got to be Joe Dante.
Well, he said he was
not.
executive producer.
Right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he, I think one of the things that Joe Dante wanted with this movie, and then Charlie Haas with the screenplay, was like just since there's no logic even in the first movie. And that's why they have a whole scene about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, what do you
all the
mean after
rules,
midnight? After midnight, where
they're
it's always
just
midnight.
gonna.
I like that.
So,
I have written down. That's me in this movie.
but that's the whole point, though. Is
I saw
instead
myself
of like
on film.
instead of like trying to go another direction and trying to like say like, okay, let's fix the mistakes of the first one.
Oh no, they own them.
Or whatever. They decided, it's like no, that means we can just. The gloves are off. We can just go completely.
Yeah, and make a cartoon
movie. Why
movie.
not? Right. So I just, but again, I knew this was going to be like either Tim was going to be on board for this, or he was going to feel every painful minute of this movie, and I think I know which one it was.
I just think it's funny that I watched this with my kids, and my son loved it. He thought it was hilarious, and my daughter hated it.
See, she's the smart one, Candice. You know that.
She said this movie makes no sense. She's like, nothing connects in this movie. Like an 8-year-old said that.
I was almost going to say I like your daughter, but I'm not going to say that.
And you know what? She's dead wrong because everything.
No. 8-year-old kids got it figured out already.
She also said that she hated the green blood. It made her nauseous to look at.
See, and that's the other thing. I wonder if there was some level of. This one has a lot less Gizmo, and so kind of a lot less like cuteness, like the way that. So I think some people there was just a level of
because she likes the first one.
It's a lot more unpleasant looking, like the different Gremlins, which again was Joe Dante. Like this was Warner Brothers saying, okay, the things you have to do in this is basically toys, right? Like we need to be able to sell merchandise. So you got to give us different kinds of Gremlins. So he's like, okay, we'll give you different kinds of Gremlins.
Could you buy the Flasher?
You can. You can now. Like,
now.
You can get a life-size version of the Flasher, Tim.
Well, I live in New York.
That's my favorite one.
That is a great one. Oh, my son really liked that one. He thought that was fucking hilarious.
You could get an anatomically correct one too, Candice, so you can pull a pin on
And you
it.
want to talk about nothing connecting?
My own little Gremlins.
Think about this. Candice. Like, Phoebe Cates sees the Flasher, right? Yep. Kicks him. Later in the movie, when they do the joke about the Christmas Eve story, but with Lincoln's Day, she's taken away before she gets to describe the guy dressed as Lincoln, but with nothing under the trench coat. Like, so she remembers seeing a Flasher.
And was that the Gremlin that did the Shadow Lincoln?
Maybe. See?
Maybe.
Just saying, it all connects. Like your daughter's wrong.
Yeah, she is wrong. She's a stupid 8-year-old kid.
Your kid's fucking stupid. Okay, this is what Matt's trying to say.
Go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You dumb kid.
Not in Missouri, though, preferably. Like, get her.
She needs to listen to this podcast. Yeah. Just have her watch TV like Gizmo did. It worked. Yeah.
She'll be great when you need her for vengeance.
So Billy, the big boss guy, comes along and he looks at Billy's drawings. So Billy hides Gizmo in the drawer. And big boss dude's like, hey, this looks great, but why don't we get rid of the trees in the front of it? Because it'll remind people of Dutch Elms disease. And I just wrote down, yep, this is 1990.
And it's also, that's the Trump thing, right? Like it's that aversion to any kind of bug, germ, anything like that is what they're doing. So
Yeah. So then, of course, his boss, Red, is all like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I was telling him the exact same thing." Ha ha ha. And the minute Clamp leaves, she's all like, "So, with your access to Clamp, now that he likes you so much, we should go have dinner all of a sudden."
Then she turns into Rita Hayworth.
Yeah, all of a sudden, she can be slapped with a sexual harassment lawsuit.
Not back then, Candice,
Yeah.
and she's a hot chick, so not even now.
Yep. Yeah. It's, again, you got to remember, like, the high school teacher rule, right? If it's a woman to a younger guy or a guy who has less power, then it's fine.
Ugh, God, she's a terrible person.
Because then it's
Remember
hot.
that, Candice? Next time
Right,
you go to
guys?
that gas station, that guy's giving you the eye. You got all the power.
He's still fucking doing that,
That's
too.
true.
God damn it. And it's, I bitch about it, and my husband's like, I don't see what the big deal is. I'm like, yeah, because it's not fucking happening to you. I can't walk
I
into
bet
the
you
gas
when he
station
stops
and get
doing it,
eye
you're going to be
fucked.
pissed off, too.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me now?
Just go in there. And, do they sell yeast infection
They
treatments
do.
there?
There you go,
Because just keep going in there once a week buying it.
Get
That's a good
that,
one.
and just like the biggest cucumber they got.
Oh gosh. maybe not the cucumber. Oh, and do they have the boner pills? If you can get yeast infection treatment and boner pills.
And then just get one of
That
those,
would
like,
be-
6 packs of Fireball whiskey shots.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Or the buzz balls, the little balls full of shitty liquor that everybody buys now.
What?
Ugh. Dude, Tim, you gotta Google buzz
So
balls.
trashy.
And make sure that you don't click on the Home Alone links.
Okay.
oh, Buzz.
Woof. Oh, man. So
So 90s up in here.
then Billy's like got to go out on a date with his boss now. So he tells Kate, "Yeah, go get the giz. I'm about to drop the jizz. You know how this goes." And he tells her
You
the
watch
rules.
the kid. I'm
It's
going to
like,
go
all
out on
right,
a
so
date.
yeah, I'm going to go put one in someone. So she's like, all right, so you know the rules. Don't, feed them or whatever, the water thing. I don't really know how that works, but okay. And yeah, whatever. See ya. So
Oh, that's where
he
I
tells
bet
her
the
that.
eating after midnight thing has to do with what time zone they're physically in. Because it has to be some kind of, like, magical creature, right? Like, you would have to assume that regular physics don't
So
apply to
magic
them.
can tell time.
Yeah, so it depends on where the gremlin is presently, if that's midnight or not.
I love that the scene where the guy is grilling Billy about this shit is punctuated by a gremlin killing that
Yeah.
person.
Exactly.
That's what I said. That's me. If I'm any character in this movie, that's me.
And that's Joe Dante killing
Like,
you.
just stop thinking.
Saying, you know what, Tim? Shut the fuck up and have some fun. Okay?
Joe
What if he
Dante
has a
was
sesame
actually
seed stuck in his teeth that he ate before?
What if he swallows gum and it doesn't
So,
digest for 7 years?
that scene. I know, like, we're not there, but like, actually, where that scene came from was those were the questions that the writer had for Joe Dante when they were sitting down to work on the movie. He goes, "Look, I'm trying to understand this."
That makes
He's like,
sense.
"I watched
yeah.
the movie." Because obviously Chris Columbus wrote the first one and infamously is very sour towards this movie because, again, he's like, okay, I wrote the classic best movie ever, so why did you guys mess up? And apparently he's written a script for Gremlins 3 that, like, gets it back to its roots. And I was like,
God,
oh,
yeah.
God.
The
but
rise
yeah, these were,
of Gizmo.
these questions all came from, like, Charlie Haas, like, sitting with Joe Dante and going, okay, what about this? Like, I'm trying to understand the rules here. And then that's how the scene ended up happening. And, like, yeah, you're right. It's so great that it's punctuated by, like, just the gremlin popping out and killing him. Like, we don't need the answers. Like, let's just let it go.
Yeah, just have some fun with it, Tim.
And
So speaking of having fun, we have a fun janitor trying to fix a water fountain. And Tim, did you recognize that
Yes,
janitor?
of course I did. Ask somebody else who maybe didn't.
That would be John
I knew it.
Aston.
God damn it.
Father of Sean Astin, who played Mr. Gomez Adams.
That's it. I have in my notes. Is that John Astor? But I didn't look it up, and I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
No, it's not John Astor.
And-
Astor plays Candice. He didn't discover. Not Aston.
It's sorry,
But-
Aston. Oh, I pulled a Tim.
And then
Yeah, I know. Well, that's
I
what
also
gotta
like
call you on.
that this scene is just Gizmo playing Russian roulette with the water fountain, like shooting in different
Well,
random
look, I said,
Get
locations.
the fuck out of the way, man.
I bet-
Come on, you're hundreds of years old. You don't know what the fuck to do at this point?
I bet Eddie and Tim hate this goofiness.
No, I love
Oh,
this.
Tim is the one that didn't
Because
like
it's
it.
we know what's gonna happen. He's gonna get wet, there's gonna be more gremlins. We know it. So they're fucking with you.
Yeah, you get it.
I mean
that's the whole
clearly
movie.
what's happening.
That's
Yeah.
what they should have done. This Gremlins 2, the new batch tagline. They're fucking with you. That's
Yeah,
the
don't
movie.
fuck with
They're
Like,
fucking
yeah.
with you.
except
Yeah.
except Yobo.
So Tim would see that. Tim would see the VHS cover and be like, "Who's fucking with me? You're gonna fuck
Right.
with
Oh,
me?
I better
movie?
rent this and see
no."
what the fuck's going on. Yeah, who the fuck
And
do
you
they think
set
they
it
are?
down. Who the fuck do they think they are? Gremlins. Son of a bitch.
That's Tim being Leonard Moulton.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
god.
come on. How the fuck does that movie,
Malton's
how does that
cameo's the
scene make
best.
any sense in this movie?
It doesn't
So,
Okay,
make
we'll get to
sense.
it. Hold on.
no. Come on. I
get to it.
understand. All right, maybe go for being absurd.
So-
but come on. How the fuck does that... Jesus.
Tim. We'll get to
So
it.
I gotta say so there's so many different like background jokes obviously in this movie that you
Yeah.
can't go over them all, but like in this scene
No.
where we're cutting back and forth with like the janitor Gizmo and then Phoebe
Mhm.
Cates like going to the elevator to go up to get Gizmo, the
Mhm.
announcement overhead about the car that's parked. I don't know if you like it was like with a person that owns, and they described the car, please move it. And it was because what was it? Your car is old and dirty. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
just like
Yeah. Look,
I loved that.
we can't have that near this tower. Okay, not near Trump Tower. Everything's got to be gold and everything's got to be shiny. It's all got to be wonderful. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be huge.
Huge.
So yeah, then he just like hits him like Rube Goldberg device. Like the water goes flying up, rebounds off the ceiling, bounces off the secretary's ass, runs up the side of a plant, trickles down onto the fucking
Yeah, from the
the
drafting
painting
table
he was
and
working
then-
on, and then rolls down to the bottom little like gutter area where you put all of your pens or I don't know art words, and then it rolls down onto Gizmo. So now Gizmo's pregnant again, and he flips down. He starts busting
I
a
always
few
feel
loose
so bad for him
all
when this
over his
happens.
office.
Because, this is a really fucking good puppet. And, like, you can see every facial expression and read the emotions on it. And he looks like this is horrible. Like, he's in horrible pain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a terrible experience for Mogwai childbirth. You thought you had
Oh,
it
yes.
bad, Candice.
Yes. Well, at least mine wasn't 3 at once. Or 2 at once, or however we
Yeah.
pop out here.
No, before, right?
And
Because
did they-
there's 3 of them.
Didn't come out like
plus
bouncing
Goofy.
balls.
Oh yeah, they're bouncing all over the fucking place.
So good.
It's ridiculous. So they just start fucking shit up again, and we
It's
have
Stripe
another stripe in
2.0.
this one, but it's just Mohawk.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and he's just a mean fucking asshole. We got the dim one, we got the Candice one, and
But they know
I like
Gizmo's
the
name.
first.
Right, because
Yeah.
there's a continued intelligence. That's something about the Mogwai. It's not set up in the movie necessarily, but like
Oh,
In
they
the
don't
books that
explain
you
it at
read,
all.
It's set up.
No, they
in
don't
the book
explain
you
it all in
read,
this.
It's set up, Candice.
No, actually, it's from Chris Columbus. He talks about that, like how he basically when he gets to make his Gremlins 3 that he's never making, and he wants to cut this Gremlins 2 out. He said he's just gonna pick it up, and all you got to do is because there is a what is it? It's like an internal intelligence that like continues on. Like I don't know. He's got like when you read anything from Chris Columbus. Again, Gremlins 1 is art and the most important movie ever made. And Gremlins 2 is like less than like it's subhuman, shouldn't exist, like all of that stuff. And it really is aggravating actually to read.
Yeah, he was really insistent too about the stupid dad stuck in the chimney story. I remember reading that.
Yeah.
That like he demanded that fucking story be put in the fucking
And it's
first
really
one.
dark, and it is
Yeah.
because obviously a PG movie that is kind of a family, meant for a family thing to like come out
Right.
and expressly say like this is how a character figured out Santa wasn't real.
Thereby telling
Like,
all these
that's
kids
rough.
that Santa isn't real.
Right.
Yeah,
In the most horrible way like possible.
that's a
It's
rough
great.
one.
I love it.
So yeah, they're all mean as shit to Gizmo.
They
They
look
rip
like
off
they're
his
gonna gang rape
armband
him.
and they force him. Yeah, they stuff him in an air vent.
Yeah,
while he's bent
they're trying to
over
get him
there. You're
stuck
like,
unstuck
oh,
from
boy.
the air vent.
Why not kill him?
Yeah.
Well, because
Why not kill
Yeah.
Gizmo?
they're gremlins. They want to like menace and like torture.
Yeah, they like
and
to
play
cause
and,
chaos more than they like to kill. Killing might
Right.
accidentally
Right. So-
happen,
so-
but it's not a big deal to them.
So similar to how I would like to switch my friends' twins. It's more about like just having fun, not killing the kids.
Right.
What if one of
that's
those
no
kids
fun
needs
for
special
anybody.
medication? And you don't know that. Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know what, Tim? No harm, no foul. I
They're
don't,
not your
I don't
kids.
know
Yeah.
it, so it's
There's no fingerprints on that crib, yeah.
not my. You know what? I guess that's a pretty good test for the parents, then, isn't it?
Prove your point even more.
You think you're a good parent? Let's see. See how good of a fucking parent you are. So Billy tells her, all right, I'm going to go off on a date with my redhead boss. Why don't you go get Gizmo since I know you love him so much? And she's like, yeah, fuck that. I hate that asshole.
Yeah, it
So,
kind of, I
she goes
forgot,
up
but
there.
in the first movie, she doesn't have a whole lot of time with Gizmo. Like, she doesn't
No.
really, like, form a bond with him, and then
No,
Gizmo's
no.
gone.
No, they're all just fucking evil
Yeah,
creatures.
she thinks
to
they're
her.
all just
At the
demons
bar
from hell.
and yeah. By the way, I think her gig at the bar was better than the tour guide gig she has now.
That hat.
She was walking around with that fucking tower hat on. Oh my god.
Well, and the gig at the bar was she did that for free. So like that was
Oh, that's true.
like the charity to help keep
Yeah,
it
plus-
open.
But Billy went from being a banker to
Well, he was a bank
drawing
teller.
buildings.
He was always an artist. That was the thing. And
Right,
That's what they
right.
tried to, Now
Yeah.
he's
They didn't get Corey Feldman back too. Surprised on that one.
Maybe
kind of glad.
It was 1990. He would have been cheap, right?
Well, and he would have worked with Joe Dante just recently because he would have been in the Burbs as well. So
yes, yeah, that's true. Huh. So instead, of course, she grabs the wrong gremlin. She gets the fucking
the one I
stupid
said is
one.
special.
The fancy one.
The last one born.
The little Timmy.
And then, so we cut between
I was the first
her,
one born,
her
Candice.
bringing
are you?
We
Well,
cut
you're about
between-
to talk about like the cutting between this and the greatest set piece in like cinema history.
the most incredible restaurant I've ever
froyo?
seen.
The
Oh.
Canadian restaurant.
No,
Oh, the
the
big horn
Canadian
sheep's
themed
head that's like
restaurant.
right in between them while they're trying to talk.
At their table, basically. The set
Yeah,
designer
she's
had
like-
the most fun,
The
probably in this
skin
whole.
Oh
on
my
the back of
God.
the chair, yeah.
Yep. And she's like drinking a Jolt Cola out of a wine glass.
And then as we're panning through to their table, you hear the person go, "Party of 6, eh?"
Yeah. And then a dude dressed as a Mountie just shows up with a giant fucking chocolate moose
It's
head.
Well, he
the
also says-
national, or it's the Canadians' national dessert.
Some
chocolate mousse.
Chocolate moose.
And he also asked him, do you need another Molson? I'm like, holy shit. Do they still make Molson?
Yeah.
It's been
In 1990s,
years since
Tim.
I've seen it anywhere.
Hey, Tim, so you had to like that, the chocolate mousse?
And look, I'm not going to say that some of the things didn't work, but for the most part, I'm agreeing with Candice's 8-year-old daughter, so we're on the same level.
Gotcha.
Well, no, if she's really smart or you're really
So
dumb.
she's-
I can't decide which one is true.
One of them is true.
So she tries to
unfortunately.
so the redhead tries to whack him off with her foot. And he's like, oh, well, I got to get
and I
out
was
of here, ma'am.
wondering
This
if
is...
she had webbed feet.
Yeah.
Because, Tim and his little story there.
Yeah. As soon as you said web feet, I looked up, Candice.
Exactly.
We don't have the cameras on yet, but when I was looking down at my cat, he's stretching, trying to act all cute.
Tim.
I said, web feet? What?
Tim, could you imagine that redhead chick with webbed feet?
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that
giving
just
you
your
all
dream,
toe
Tim?
job.
I mean, it's extra gripping power.
The
so
glasses,
Just
that
maximum-
hair. Oh my God, come on.
just maximizing the surface area of her feet.
This is when I
just
figured
by
out
having
how do I
connected
make this movie
toes.
go at 1/2 speed.
Trying to slow it down for just a little bit.
And then we cut to the gremlin at the house. Well, it's a mogwai at this point. And Kate's going over the rules. She's like, okay, so he said definitely feed it after midnight, right? So I'm gonna feed it, and she busts
No, she
out
says
like
to definitely feed it before midnight. So that's why she's like, I've got to feed it now. Because
right.
But she has a good question.
So
what
then
the fuck are you supposed to feed it?
Right.
Yeah. So she just gets a 2-piece from
you can
KFC.
feed them anything.
She probably went and got it a la carte, right, Tim?
I don't know why that got Mike so mad.
So he gets the chicken. He's like, yeah, fuck this. He throws the chicken at her. Then he gets the gravy and he just throws that. He's like, yeah, fuck this too. Gets the corn. And he eats the corn the long way, which I think is an interesting move. You ever done that one?
The long way?
What the fuck are you talking
Like
about?
deep throating it?
I'm joking.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, I don't remember that part. I just watched this.
There was I saw a clip before this. I saw a picture from like some wrestling event, and somebody's holding up a sign that says one of the wrestlers' name eats corn the long way. And it's genuinely one of the funniest insults I've ever fucking heard. So I had to fit it in here somewhere.
Was it good?
I do love that like he's got that ancestral knowledge like you were talking about, Matt, because the first thing he does is he breaks the blender.
And he keeps saying,
like,
I'm not Gizmo. Like, as she's saying, like, whoa, Gizmo, you're acting all wired. And he just keeps saying, like, not Gizmo. Like,
yeah. But
But
you
no
know,
one in this movie acknowledges
you
the
can count on
fact that
Kate to
every
not
single
listen.
one of these fucking things can talk.
right. Until the one can
And
really.
then, then
Oh
the
my
one like
God.
with his, complete sentences and everybody's floored. But he does cause the meltdown of all the global banks in Wall Street. Yeah.
that is true. Yeah.
Maybe he was the one you had to worry about.
Yeah. And then so he heads home from his date, and is that his dog out front eating garbage?
I had that written down. Whose dog is just randomly eating fucking garbage?
Because it looks like his
It
dog,
looks like the dog
from the first movie.
but no.
But no, it couldn't be the dog that was hung up by the
Aw.
Christmas lights. No. It was such a funny scene. Oh, man. He pops in and he's all like, hey, sweetie, how's it going? And he's just got lipstick all over his face. And she's like, huh. Doing all right. How are
skipped over
you?
the joke where the moose, the chocolate moose head, he goes, how about some horn?
to the woman that was clearly
Coming on to
pretty
this guy,
horny. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you think she banged the Mountie
Probably.
guy?
She mounted him.
I mean, Mount is
Reverse
in his name.
Mountie.
So.
Is that considered consent if it's in your name?
Probably.
What if your
Yeah.
name was Yes Please? Like, does that mean that everybody consented to you?
I mean, there's no rule that
Maybe.
says no. So, yeah.
Candice,
Yeah, I'm the
you're
world.
gonna have to
I don't
look
know.
into changing my name.
Candice can. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're getting
It's
treading kind of
subliminal.
close. So.
Dice, roll the
Candice.
dice, see what happens.
Yeah, take a chance with the Candice.
Who's going to get the
it's-
7?
It's the traditional Candice dick fit in your mouth.
That's the easy
Oh,
one.
that's right. Oh my God! Holy shit! That's right. I forgot that whole fucking thing going around on Twitter.
Yeah, I bet that was a fun period.
I was
for
laughing my
you,
ass off.
Candice.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, those videos are
Well, that's
hilarious. The one that I remember the most is the
So-
kid comes in and he says it, and the mom's almost ready to say it, and the dad screams, "Don't say it!"
No, my favorite one is when
So-
he does the setup. Oh, and with Candice, and the girlfriend instead's like, "Who the fuck is Candice?" Like she clearly was like jealous, thinking her boyfriend was cheating on her. That's my favorite one.
Then he just gets broken up with over a
Exactly.
fucking Facebook joke or
It was
something.
worth it. He got views.
Fucks
was
up
worth
his
it.
Got more
life.
girls. Yeah.
So yeah, he's got the lipstick all over his face. She's got like gravy and chicken leavings all over her. It's not a good scene.
Yeah,
And at
because
their best
no
possible
question
moment.
about the lipstick.
Well, she does.
No. She makes a note of it in her
Yeah,
head.
and then she talks about it later.
She's
But obviously,
built-
there's kind of a more pressing issue.
Well, she's
here.
also letting it build up inside, and then she was going to explode.
Yeah.
I know that look.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then, of course, worst possible timing. The Futtermans show up,
So good.
and they're like, "Hey, we're here in New York," and just glad they're here. Not really sure what they're doing
And then
here,
I-
Yeah,
but
like I
you
said,
know,
it's been
they're-
so long since I saw the first movie. I thought, like, is that his parents?
No.
And this-
But I mean, well,
And this is when
I
my
haven't seen the first movie in a long time.
this is when my son figured out that people used to be called Dick. Because I said, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's Dick Miller," and he goes, "Mama, what did you say?" I was like, "That's the dude's name, Dick," and he starts dying laughing.
No.
He'd never heard
well,
such
wait
a
till he
thing.
learns about
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah,
Wait
I
till you
was
see
gonna
that
say.
pussy galore in James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait till he watches the Austin Powers movies with a lot of vagina.
It's gonna knock him dead.
And what was it? Fuck me and fuck you. Yeah, those were really,
yeah, you know
really
what? Yeah,
well written
he's
jokes.
just that perfect age now that when he sees that, he's gonna laugh his fucking ass off.
Well, he loves
Like,
the Venture
that was-
Brothers.
He's gonna go into school the next day. He's like, "Hey, you know, I know this guy. I saw this movie yeah.
In South Park.
Out of vagina.
Holy shit, does he love South Park?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
the perfect
Yeah.
age.
So they get the Futtermans out by telling them that they have all sorts of crazy insects from around the world in their house
Yeah.
or in their apartment. And they're like, that's cool. We'll go rent a hotel. Hey, by the way,
Just
here's
say
a
bed
pie your
bugs,
mom
that's it.
baked.
His whole Dick Miller is like, do you know they got Russians driving cabs here?
How can
It's
you
such a
trust
great
them?
line. And they're in town
fucking
because
guy.
like he's going to a reunion of probably I guess World War II veterans or Vietnam or something.
Korea.
I don't know. Like they make a
Korea,
passing
picture,
reference
yeah.
to that. But they're there like a day early or something like that. So it's some ridiculous thing that like clearly the movie was like it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter.
everybody
We-
loves Dick
Right.
Miller.
It
Get
was
over it.
Joe Dante wants him back in the movie, so he's back in
Yeah.
the movie. Like
Yeah, we need some pretense to bring him back. So here
Oh,
you
and
go.
this is where I asked
And
the
it's like, yeah,
question:
here's-
does it ever explain why Gizmo is the only one that isn't batshit homicidal?
no, I mean. I think the whole point was just the idea that like, he is like the aberration, like he is the one that is.
But when you establish that beforehand by having show that the ones before him, the ones older than him, were like that, he's literally the only one. But instead, you just think for whatever reason it's never explained, all of his offspring are fucking
Because
crazy.
he's cute, Candice, and the other ones are ugly. That's
Yeah.
it. Come on.
Well, and plus it's just the trope of the cautionary tale, right? Whatever you do, don't get them wet,
Yeah.
right? So when you get them wet, and
Ben
it's like,
Shapiro
well, that was a
story.
bad
That's-
thing
that's
because
what-
it
I
reproduced.
I just can't stop it. I can't stop it. Whenever I say "don't get them wet," I'm going to make a Ben Shapiro joke. I'm sorry, I can't.
It's okay, Tim.
I really, that's the only reason why I would really want a Gremlins 3 to happen is so
Ben Shapiro could be
like
in
we
it?
we can get Ben Shapiro to do one of his like ranting videos about like how it's gone woke or something,
Yeah, those Gremlins,
and that he has to
man,
comment
yeah.
on something like about getting something wet. I just need him to
Mm-hmm.
comment on that so that way everyone can pile on
Mm-hmm.
from that moment.
Oh yeah.
There's no way a
This is how you
gremlin
know
or
that
any
Disney-
woman would want to give a man oral sex in a bathroom. It just never happens.
See,
And this is how you know that Disney is morally bankrupt. They took a perfectly great franchise like Gremlins, and what did they do to it? They ruined it. I remember Gremlins too. There was a female gremlin. I could masturbate to her. Now there is not a female
There's a
gremlin that I could
trans
masturbate to.
There's
What
a
am I
trans,
supposed to do?
there's a trans
Yeah.
gremlin, maybe.
There's a trans
Maybe,
gremlin.
because there's so many of them there. We don't know which one it is, right? That's his
Right.
fucking line.
I guess technically the one that took female hormone would be trans, I
Oh,
that's
suppose.
true.
and I mean,
So-
there's
That's
obviously
right,
just
yeah.
I guess, I mean, I don't remember specifically in the first movie, but like, I mean, it's Gizmo, but like,
Yeah.
There's nothing in the story that says like the Gremlins are male or female. I mean, it's a male.
Well, right. They also
reproduce.
don't have sex
Yeah, the Flash
organs
had
and
nothing.
reproduce by getting wet.
Right.
So, I mean,
That's
I guess
also
they're
when
just
Tim
asexual.
like slowed the movie down. Like, wait,
that was the
I
second time. I was like, I had to make sure.
I gotta see.
Yeah.
My wife is like, "What?"
Yeah, you got to do a little Peter gazing on the flasher there. Make sure everything's where it should
Or
be.
not.
Or not. So they head back to the building where the Gremlins are now at the ice cream shop. And they are
the
just
froyo.
tearing fucking
You know
through
that's
it.
frozen yogurt.
Well, yeah, because the one
Yeah.
lady's like, "This
Yeah.
is supposed to be healthy,
supposed to
but
be
like
health
it's,
food."
You know, the whole thing of M
Oh
and
my
M's and
god! I remember that scam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it made me so nostalgic for that very certain period of time where that was the biggest fucking thing was frozen yogurt.
Well,
It's still yogurt,
I think what
motherfuckers.
ushered it all in, and Tim, I might be wrong on this one. You might have a better memory. I believe it was the Snackwells that started this shit. And the idea was, well, fat is what's bad for you. So if we get rid of the fat, it's healthy, but we'll just load it up full of sugar.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because nobody
You know,
looks at the
so-
sugar content; they always look at the calorie content.
Yeah. Oh god, I remember I knew
Right.
so many people in the 90s who were fat. And they're like, "Oh, I can eat as many of these as I want because there's no fat in them." And they're like eating entire things of those fucking Snackwell cookies. And I'm like, I don't think it works like that.
Not only that, but they probably didn't look on
Yeah.
the back of the box where it said like per serving, where it was like half a cookie.
Yeah, 2 of the cookies were a
Yeah.
serving.
Average serving for non-Americans, because you American people are motherfuckers. You'll eat a whole bag of Lay's potato chips.
Can't eat just one.
Yeah. Unless it's got the Olestra, then you can
Exactly.
just shit it
That's
all
true.
out.
Yeah, it's a circle of life.
Oh man.
So Billy and Kate have a good idea, right? And it's that they're going to go kill the water main so that there's no chance
Also,
for
let's
these
hope there's not a
Gremlins to
fire
get
in this
wet.
building at some point.
Well,
Yeah, Gremlins would never do
there's
anything like that,
Gremlins.
right?
They're not-
It's not like one of those fucking around with electricity.
Yeah. No, they'll be fine without the water, sure. So they get down there, but immediately the cops stop them.
Oh, and it's Andy
my
Richter.
favorite.
The security guard.
No, it's the guy from the Burbs.
What?
It's
Oh
Art.
shit.
Yep. It's Art
Well,
from the Burbs. His
looks
name.
just fucking like him.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, no, Candice, you get half a point. You're right. You can confuse those two.
Yeah, it's close
I mean, come on.
enough, right?
But again, this probably just says more about me and how much I love that movie as well. Because once I see that guy or hear his voice, all I can think of is the Ray, you're chanting. It's the I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan is my pal.
Satan is your pal.
Another
Like-
one for me. I
so-
saw that in the movie theaters, one and done. I never got that movie. I never
it's
got it.
so good.
You know what? Maybe Tim. Maybe I don't like you.
Oh,
I don't
god
know. Like,
damn.
I'm starting to really think.
Hey, look, I forgive
Hey,
you
you know
for your
what?
fucking sucking off on fucking Halloween, okay?
Oh shit.
Wow.
It's getting spicy up in
Okay.
here.
All right. All right.
Shots
I just
fired,
re-listened to
man.
one of those podcasts a couple of weeks ago. I'm like,
Why
come
would
on,
you do
for
that?
real. I know. I put myself to torture.
Actually, I did just re-listen to something.
See?
It was the skyscraper episode of the Grind Bin, and because
Oh, I know Nicole
and-
Smith, yeah.
anyways, that's neither here nor there. It was just Daniel saying he could buy a human for $400, and I was like, oh god, that's right. That's right. That's what we're talking about.
Tune into the Grind Bin where they
Woo.
talk about human trafficking.
Mostly just
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah.
It's always so shocking
Daniel.
to me when Grindbin goes down to our level.
It's that and killing a hobo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are his two
exactly.
favorite
He
things
made
to talk about.
in that episode. He did both of those
Wow. So yeah, he hit for the cycle
because he
then.
said he would definitely kill a hobo if he could live like Don Jr.
Do you think
for
he
5
get?
years.
You think he get a discount on the hobo?
Oh god.
Oh yeah, you get a 2-for-1.
Or is
on that.
$400 a starting
So-
point? Yeah.
So Billy, the cop or the security guard, one of the Gremlins fucking dive bombs his ass. So he flings it off of him and then just starts fucking shooting at him. Blam, 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 blam. And I'm like, oh yeah, 90s American movie.
Hey, look,
yeah.
if there's a gremlin,
that
I will
tracks.
believe that you truly are a fear of your life and your fellow officers if you see a gremlin.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, there was a couple of gremlins trying to sell CDs out in front of this
The
supermarket.
was selling
So we had to
Lucy's,
shoot them.
Dude, they're great at making T-shirts though, so you might want to like go ahead and just get one of those. Like if you see it outside a concert.
I was just gonna say that the dream job vows because it's a fucking night. They don't have to worry about the sun. They can just sell those fucking fake Judas Priest T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And they could come up with them on the fly, clearly. So they've got some sort of screen printing tech we're not aware of.
Well, that building is supposed to have everything in it, right?
Everything.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. There's jams and jellies.
And the special effects in this movie are just so damn good.
Mr. Donut.
Yeah, Mr. Donut.
No, the special effects are fantastic. The puppet work is great. Like it's well, except for the electric one.
Yeah, there were some parts where my son was like, "That does not look good."
No, but you know what? It was back in the day. What are you going to do? So Billy ends up getting arrested. And Katie just goes and bails him out the next day.
Oh, man. And the freaking, like, wagon full of mimes that come out that they all arrested.
Yes.
I loved it.
Said mimes.
This movie has its moments, but...
Said mimes,
overall,
just when this movie couldn't get any better.
The mimes is pretty funny. Come on, yeah. Because, I'm like, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it... now I'm thinking about it. No, this is bullshit because a New York City cop would bust those motherfucking heads in with a real fucking stick. Miming in the back of my fucking police wagon.
Maybe they couldn't get to him through the box they were in.
Oh, the force field.
Maybe they kept trying, but yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I was also just thinking if you ever took a mime to court, right, and you did you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Not Miranda rights.
Yeah, I think they'd get held in contempt. Or you know what? They wouldn't be able to show up because
I think the best mime joke was in Detective Pikachu. When Mr. Mime, when they're like playing along and they pretend like they're interrogating him.
Oh, yeah.
And they put the trail of gasoline. And they're like going to drop the match. And then they do, not thinking about it. And they're standing there talking and he's pretending to burn alive behind them. That is the best mime joke.
That was pretty good.
I'm old school. I got to go Spinal Tap. Mime is money.
That is old school.
So
Billy Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Billy goes back into the building the next day, and we see the gremlin cocoons up above him hatching. And they're dripping the cool
my daughter did not like that
slime down.
Yeah. No, again, this is where you can tell, like, the Rick Baker of it all was really, really cut loose. Like, he had a budget, and they let him use it, because, man.
Oh, he had fun.
It's real
goofy. He had a good time, man.
And it's got the cool fog effects.
I mean, especially because this is when Billy goes up to warn the people in the lab. Yeah. And Dr. Catheter walks by with one of the invasion of the body snatchers pods.
I saw that. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is when they're making all the jokes fucking with Billy. Like so if it's eating the sesame seed bagel and it flies and the time zone changes and it's still got the seed stuck in it's the Tim Yobo scene. And that dude just gets fucked up by a gremlin, just jumps out of the fucking mechanics.
That's what I need.
The writer is one of the writer is one of those guys. That's his cameo in this movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
Because Joe Dante was in the movie earlier. He was directing the Uncle Fred's show.
That's right. We didn't even talk about the vampire yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So there's because we're getting to it, right? Because this is when Kate's taking everybody on a tour.
He's got his own channel, which is more like Ted Turner.
CCN.
Right. Turner has his own channel.
Yeah. The archery channel.
So first
the
archery channel. It's so good.
Right. So you've got the Grandpa Fred, who's your kind of like Zachary stand-in, your creature feature host. That's older. He's got no budget. There's like a shitty
Grandpa Munster
bat.
Okay, now I got a question about that.
He looks like Grandpa Munster.
We see Zach in the elevator holding a stick. We don't see what's on that stick. Mm-hmm. He goes into the studio. Then he brings it to this vampire dude. He's like, maybe you can use this on your show. I'm like, what? He just brought a fucking spider on a stick to the vampire guy show?
Well,
he was helping
Tim,
with
he draws buildings. He draws buildings. He
Ah.
helps the
Yeah,
props department.
He's friends with everybody in this entire fucking
He
building.
knows how to fix the printer, right? That's why he
Yeah.
does that stupid bullshit. They didn't really keep him around for the art part. They kept him around because he knows how to fix the printer.
No. Yeah, he's one of those. He's a Billy of all trades. You got here, master of none. But so Kate takes the people on this tour, and they go to the. I just have the psychotic drunks cooking show played by Kathleen Freeman.
I'm obsessed with like microwave cooking cookbooks because they exist, and she is so spot on for like what when you ever see the people that wrote those books, and like she is so good as it. And
you just
like,
turn to page 2 and it just says 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, just well, and then it reminds me of one of my favorite things to ever find on YouTube are these chef Steven Weber, I think it is, cooking.
Oh, the old man.
The old man that just teaches college kids how to cook with a microwave and never uses like hot pads, even though he grabs like steaming hot bowls of like water.
Oh, that's right. He took that soup out of it with both hands.
Yeah, the water that he cooked the spaghetti noodles in, he puts it in the microwave for 10 minutes, and then it's a glass bowl, and he just reaches in and he leaves a plastic knife in the bowls, often in the microwave. Like, they are some of the funniest, saddest things you've ever seen. And turns out, like, this guy, I was like, maybe he's a college professor and he's like trying to be like helpful to like incoming freshmen. No, he was a student. This was part of his degree.
Oh, good.
So, anyways, anyone look up. It's Weber Cooks. It's Weber Cooks on YouTube, and you will enjoy watching a man teach people how to cook rice-a-roni, like actual name brand rice-a-roni.
It's just
you made it to college, but you can't figure that shit out.
It's like the sad divorced man's cooking show. Like,
I got Mike from the Grinded obsessed with them because I kept like sending them to him.
That rules. Yeah, and the tray that she's making that's like refried beans rolled up in bologna. It's got this big spread of that fucking just set up. It's everything from the bad 70s cookbooks. You know? She's doing just getting fucking hammered. Just drunk as shit.
She does such a good job at being hammered too. Like her reaction, I think I've always remembered. Like, what happened to the lights? Like just that. Like, oh, so good.
Just acting drunk as shit. Yeah, the lights go out because they're ripping the lights out of it. Because
Yeah.
they're gremlins. They're fucking
This
everything
is when
up.
they
They're
start
like
going,
Clifford the big red
going
dog.
havoc everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them just grabs a shitload of like pots and forks and shit and just starts hucking it in the microwave.
Because it remembers the microwave from the first movie.
Yep. Got to kill it, right? Because remember what that microwave did in the first movie. One of the greatest scenes in a horror movie, too. The mother taking out the gremlins in the kitchen. Just fantastic. So, hucks all of it in the microwave, turns it on. That causes a nuke to go off, apparently. It's really back then, like the whole goof with Fallout and that series of games, everything having like a little fucking radioactive cell in it. Like we basically were there back then with these jokes. Because the microwave just blows up, starts this massive fire. And what happens when there's a fire?
Yeah, the sprinklers go off.
Sprinklers go off.
And we get
we
get some more great overhead narration or intercom voice when it's like telling people to like leave the building. It's fire, giver of warmth, destroyer of forests.
Don't step on people.
Yeah, and that's when you find out they give live
get
birth, because it very graphically shows the little tiny baby gremlins inside of the adult ones, and they're like these sores on their back that burst open, and that's how they get born. It is gross.
That was pretty rough, man. And the other thing I have here is that the one that's in the pot of soup,
That's
I guess
the one
the
my
water in the
son
soup's
looked like
not
me because
enough.
it had like the fish lips.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well, maybe there's just a bunch of baby gremlins in that.
When we post this podcast, can we put a picture up
That's a good point.
of that gremlin?
Yeah, we'll have a comparison. We'll take a picture of Candice.
Oh,
and then a picture of
maybe
that
there was so much
gremlin.
sherry in that pot of soup that it doesn't even constitute as
Yeah.
water anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So then you have to use the picture of her from the Discord if she's drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get David on it. He can do some Photoshop. I'll bet we could get her face on that gremlin, or the gremlin's
This
face on
episode
hers.
comes out Tuesday. I don't know, whatever time it comes out in Australia. So give him 12, 13 hours. He'll have it.
Yeah, 7 a.m. Our time here in the West Coast. It comes out. So yeah, just 12 hours from them, we'll have that picture in the Discord. Pretty much guaranteed. Oh man, so. The gremlins are just fucking everything up everywhere. I love the mouse trap
in
in the secretary's sandwich.
Yep.
It's a Looney Tunes movie, basically.
Again, yes.
And we don't see what happens. We just hear it go off and her scream. And then we cut back and there's the gremlin sitting in her chair.
It's wearing her coat.
With her cardigan on.
Yeah, it's got her fucking jacket on. Oh, it's so good. And then, oh man, so she goes up there, grabs this motherfucker, or he grabs it and runs it through.
The craziest paper
Clamp
shredder
does.
ever.
Yeah, runs it through the in-desk paper shredder, just making relish out of this motherfucker. And of course, Candice's daughter.
She does not
big
like
problem
it.
with this scene.
Green blood. I was
Yeah.
like,
Was this PG-13?
this is the
it
weird
has
part
to be,
because she's
right?
seen more gore than this, real gore. Like she watched the last three quarters of Dead Alive with me. Like she's seen much worse than this, but it's the fact that it was the color green. Like it really made her sick.
Do you know what they also did a really good job with in this movie that I don't often think about is the sound design and the sound effects.
Mm-hmm. I watch this with headphones on,
Yes. Yeah.
Right. I mean, so when there is like the dripping and the goo and all that stuff, it's like it's mic'd.
Yeah,
and
you makes you
hear
feel
it like really well.
Feel the scene.
Yeah.
So this actually tracks why your son likes it, because he's got the thing for
with
Lady
the green.
Hulk, right?
Oh no! God damn it!
Green.
That's disgusting. Don't even.
So then
make
you've got
that
the
joke.
Lady Gremlin, right?
He already did.
Just saying.
What are you talking about?
something to look into. It's not a joke either. I'm being serious. Something to check into. So they trap Kate in the elevator, and then I just have like one of them's got the driller killer's drill.
Yep.
And just starts boring holes in the fucking elevator. They start reaching in, trying to grab at her and, rip her hair out and shit. Then I guess like one of them is wearing the elevator handyman's outfit. And Tim, you got to appreciate that.
I don't know. I don't think elevators work like that. Just by giving them electrical charges, they go up and down.
No. Plus, actually, if you did break the cable on an elevator, it would go up, not down.
Well, actually,
that's right, the
Gremlins.
counterweights. And there's also locks on the thing too, right?
Yep. But hers doesn't. Hers
because it's the
thing
elevator
fucking
of the
snaps
future.
and it
It's
just
all
goes
automated.
falling down.
Well, or it's the clamp building, so you never know that it's like built like anything really is supposed to be.
It could be one of those pneumatic elevators, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is the clamp building. You're right. That's basically the Peltzer building.
Yeah.
So it goes down, but the problem is that like the bottom of the elevator, there's like 100
So it
gremlins
cushions
on
her
it.
fall? Is that the thinking?
Yeah, so really, I guess, because that thing falls to the fucking ground floor and squishes out all of these
Maybe
gremlins.
she jumped in the elevator right before it hit the floor. So
Well,
that's why
she did
she's
get
alive.
flung up in the air.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So maybe that did help, Tim. Yeah, you should try that.
Yeah, if you can just jump just a couple seconds before it crash lands, you should be fine.
That's why you should never jump in an airplane.
Should be all right, Tim. Yeah, you could throw the entire course of the airplane
No, your
off
ass
if you
goes out
jump
the
in.
back.
That's worse than
Yeah.
keeping your electronics turned on. Like, don't jump.
Oh, yeah. So then back in the lab, we learned that they invented bouncy tomatoes.
This lab is so great in how like advanced and stupid
like
it
aperture
is.
all over the
It's
place.
like aperture science labs.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
like
It's right up there with the Fruit Roll-Up Factory. Because I remember from the commercials, something always
There
went
was all
wrong
sorts
there.
of shenanigans.
Yeah, but it never killed anybody. All it ever did was like mix the green
And
apple
plus
and
the
the
animals
blue
they
raspberry.
have there.
Yeah, that turned out to be delicious, though.
They have quite the menagerie.
Yeah.
Because they got like
You see the
camels
giraffe
and
running,
an elephant.
Yeah.
You're just thinking, how do you get
And
that giraffe?
there was a
in that
real
building?
dog
Like,
chasing
I
a
love it.
real camel down that hallway.
A crane.
Oh, yeah.
You got to move with the crane.
Yeah.
My favorite is the note that the monkeys fucking hated the Gizmo puppet. So they like were supposed to get out of their cages to run away, but they refused as long as that puppet was in
Right,
there.
so that's why he has to, like, when he releases it or whatever, opens the cage, it's like he's got Gizmo, like, completely out of view.
So kind of like Shockma.
Yeah. So it's like a cross between Shockma and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Except there's no snakes, so it's
No.
okay.
That's like the one thing that they didn't have, like, a gremlin for.
Yeah. So then they just they decide that the Gremlins are going to pop in and just start drinking
Just
vials
whatever
of
happens to be
man-
around.
Their label making, this lab's label making game is, like, on point. Like,
Yeah, because they're splicing their genes
It's
left
like
and
just-
right.
it's just like the picture of a bat, a silhouette of a bat on the one that's a
Oh,
bat. Like, it's just, I love
Yeah.
that. Like,
It's like
that's what they
it's like
did.
the shit from BioShock, the atom.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Not the atom. What were those things called that you would take in BioShock?
Fuck. Well, they were the vigors in BioShock Infinite.
Vigors, yes, the vigors, but whatever they were, yeah. So because one of them's the lightning one is just that vigor, like that's all that is. But I do like that the first one that gets drank, our introduction to the fact that they're going to be splicing and creating cool gremlin hybrids, is the fucking
Yeah.
salad.
Yeah, that one's the grossest one to me. In this
It was a
movie.
weird one.
Like,
That was
I-
a choice right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they pick an olive
Yeah.
off of it and put it in a martini.
Yeah, that's
I think was
Yeah, that's-
disturbing. Yeah, and the other one drinks brain hormones, I
Yep.
guess, and then he becomes a genius because he falls
when he
down.
comes up and he's
Yeah,
got
it's
the
like
glasses
there's
on.
yeah. All of a sudden, he
Yeah.
has these perfectly sized little glasses that fit him perfectly.
Ugh.
Tim, you
I
gotta
was thinking,
love
is
that.
Wally
buddy.
Barber, whatever the fucking thing is on the internet, is that around then? How the fuck did he get those glasses that quickly? Right prescription.
It made
wrong
you mad
prescription?
because
Oh.
it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, how does the gremlin that
Tim-
drank brain juice get glasses?
Tim, what did you call
What-
it?
what-
Martin Wallaby?
What the fuck is that thing that you can?
Wally Barton,
I don't
you
know,
called
rewind
it?
and listen. Whatever that thing is, you can order.
Real quick,
glasses
rewind it
on
real
the
quick.
internet.
Listen back.
It's like
There you
Warby
go,
Parker, right? Yeah, okay. It's an online glasses company. He knows because he's an old man. He just forgot the name of it because he's an old man. So, yeah, he just pops up with the glasses on. Tim, you gotta love that, right?
I do.
The Bat Gremlin, the Bat Gremlin's got a
Oh,
cool
that thing was
design,
fantastic.
and then I love that that the Brain Gremlin's like, listen, we've got some stuff that makes it so sunlight doesn't hurt us. I'm just going to
Yeah, 'cause
inject
I
it
have
into you,
plans
though.
for you.
Yeah, he wants. Well,
Yeah.
it's like a test case, right? Like he wants to just see if this will
Right,
work to make sure.
Well, it's
So-
smart. It's not stupid. Yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
flies out of the wall, not a window, just the wall, and it makes a perfect,
Which is
Batman
hilarious.
logo.
Well, okay. So not only is it hilarious because we're a year after
Tim Burton's Batman.
Batman
Yeah.
'89, where it is like that is everywhere. But
Mhm.
then a few years later than this is Batman and Robin, where Joel Schumacher directs it, where when Robin bursts through the wall into the museum at the beginning, he leaves the perfect Robin thing. And I was like,
Yeah.
You know, I'd
I'm
forgotten
sure that
about
wasn't
that,
a self-aware.
Matt. I'd forgotten about that
Well,
completely.
I'm
Thanks for
here.
reminding
I'm
me.
really here
Yeah.
I'm here to break you down, Tim. That's like
That
why
would be
I'm
Yeah.
here.
What about Tim? What about in The Crow when
It's
he
in
starts
shape
the
of a
fire
crow.
and it's the perfect
That's fine.
little
No
crow
problem with
symbol?
that. That's a good movie. Yeah.
That you're okay
Yeah.
with.
I mean, he was
Okay.
very precise with the gasoline. So
But the Bat Gremlin, that was a
the
problem.
the gremlin.
I
that
can
drank
more easily
bat
see
hormones.
Eric Craven pouring the gasoline out into the shape of a crow more than I can see that bat
Yeah.
gremlin make a perfect bat sign going out through the fucking window.
to be
A wall.
To be fair, he was pretty emo,
Yeah.
so it makes
And
sense.
well, actually, it's
He
Eric
would've done that
Draven.
shit.
Raven.
Oh.
shit.
Raven.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, damn.
I also said it was Wally Barber, so.
Yeah, but we know it took us a while to figure out what you were talking about there. That sounds like a 70s sportscaster. Like he's reporting from like a golf championship. Wally Barber.
Wally Barber is a barber shop in Laguna Beach, California.
All right, there we go.
So I'm gonna have to go check that out then for Tim. Then we just have the salad gremlin. His literally the only thing he can do, which is hide in a salad bar. I mean, what else could you really?
There's
What
so
other
much
mayhem
shit happening
could it
on
do?
the screen at any moment of time during this part of the movie. This is when they really
Yeah.
show off their budget.
Yeah, now we're into just schizophrenia of it, right? Because this is Dick Buttkiss, like you said in Hightower from Police Academy, or just there at the salad bar.
Yep.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
like, oh, okay, well, there you
This
go.
movie is clearly not taking itself
And then
seriously.
just
No, not at all. I mean, and again, it's worth repeating that like they've taken Gizmo off the screen for like a bulk of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like this movie is not.
he's
about,
nowhere to be
like-
seen.
And obviously, when they bring him back, they do it in a good, like in a way that should hopefully be like, oh, okay, cool. I get like why that they didn't use him, but like he is like so far off the table in this movie that you almost kind of forget that he's even there.
You really do. Yeah, and maybe for the better, because he was people were a little tired.
Yeah,
of
because they make a
Gizmo,
joke
I think.
about how they're going to merchandise
we had
him, and you're
enough.
going to see him staring from every
Yeah.
car window.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the Garfield thing.
which they did.
I had to explain that
Oh,
joke
God.
Remember those
to
Yeah,
the
things?
kids
which they did.
because they would not have
Those
seen that.
Garfield suction cup. Yeah.
Yeah. So all these people getting attacked, and I just have a lot of the gremlins are wearing matching shades. I think that's cool.
But the smart gremlin's destroying the global market.
we-
He's telling everybody to sell.
Yeah, the brain.
Buy, sell.
The brain gremlin. Yeah, giving out bad stock advice, and the flashes her again. So she takes him to Dick Kick
Yeah.
City.
She punts his
Plants
ass.
one right in the old coin bag. Mm-hmm. Then Bat Gremlin flying outside finds Mr. Futterman.
So
This poor
hold
man.
on though, because we get outside, and Tim, you had to like the cathedral joke. Did you when they say that's the Eva Marie Cathedral?
Yeah.
Instead of Eva Marie Saint, the old actress, it's a joke that
Yep.
Saint was in her name and Eva Marie and
I guess sometimes
No,
when you watch a
that
movie
is-
at 1.5 times
I
speed, it
figured
goes
there is
faster.
I had it written down in my notes. This is what Tim will say is funny.
Yeah.
And it went over
Well,
you
Chef Robbie
too.
will get it.
Wow.
I put it's Q the winged
I
serpent.
watch this movie too fast.
Yeah, well, that was an Eva.
Cue the winged
That was an
serpent, yes.
Eva Marie Saint joke about a cathedral named. So there you
That
go.
was a deep cut.
That is a very deep cut.
So this fucking gargoyle bat gremlin harasses the
Yeah,
shit
like,
out of
cuts
poor
his face
Mr.
open.
Futterman. And he's like, rips him up. Like he's got holes in his side. And he's like, see, I'm not fucking crazy. It's real. Look, here's the fucking thing. And then the wife's like, yeah, no shit. Do something about it. So he tosses the son of a bitch in some concrete that's getting poured, then whips the cement mixer's little chute over and dumps concrete all over it. Then it just flies up, perches on the cathedral.
Yeah.
Now I
Another
guess it's a
gargoyle. Awesome.
gargoyle. Yeah. So then Billy runs into talk to the doctor for a little while, and they start getting into an argument where you think they're going to get into like some exposition, and we get a glorious fourth
That
wall break.
my daughter
Where the
fucking hated.
film-
This is the point where
Yep,
she gave up on the
this
movie.
Yep, same thing, Candice. I'm like, no, come on, too far.
So one thing that I think is actually really funny as we're getting to that is like Christopher Lee's character is like, you think I'm crazy. You don't believe me. And Billy keeps going, no, I know. Like, I know this stuff is real.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Christopher Lee is just like, I'm not crazy. I'm not like, this is what's happening. And I just, for whatever
Yeah.
reason, love the fact that like, just they're not even having a conversation.
I love the fact that somehow inadvertently Dracula had created
Yep, that's
that
true.
gremlin.
Yeah. Because he was apologizing for being in a werewolf movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So
True. So yeah, basically the film we're watching, the reel gets broken, and the gremlins start doing
One of them
shadow
does Abe
puppets.
Lincoln.
Pretty solid Lincoln.
crack me
Yeah,
up.
pretty solid one. Then they put on this film reel from like a nudist.
It's a
an
nudie
old,
cutie.
what is it? They call
Yeah.
nudie cutie.
Yeah.
That's right. I was trying to think
And
of
it
the.
was extra meta
the
for me
name.
because I'm watching this with my kids, and I haven't seen this since I was very, very young. And so I was like, "Oh shit, that's a nudie cutie," and I said that out loud, and they
And
were
they,
like, "What's that?" And I
cropped it.
was like, and then it shows the other parents pulling their kids out of the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did she say
So
they
your
put on though?
sons-
She says they put on like a movie that was not that movie, but like I couldn't remember what. Anyways, it was one of those things where like,
Well, they referenced Snow White and the Seven
oh,
Dwarfs.
that's right. That's all
which-
they
That
wanted.
was
Remember,
the
that was
first-
from Gremlins.
That was the
1.
first movie I ever
Comes
saw
out.
in theaters was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs
Wow.
Damn.
because they did like a re-release in the 80s.
Did they paint you green? Were they like, we're going to have the
Oh,
short
yeah.
kid
That was
go
my
to
Make-A-Wish.
this movie? We'll paint her green like a gremlin. And then all the other kids can be like, oh, there's a gremlin.
No,
It's
if you
like
bring
the
a dwarf
movie.
with you, you get it for free.
Oh, damn.
Bring your own dwarf. They could only afford 6 dwarfs for the movie, so you have to bring the 7th. Oh, man. So, yeah, then some woman's complaining to the manager. He heads in to take a look at what's going on in there.
Did the projectionist come down first before he goes in? That's right, because the projectionist comes downstairs,
he did.
and that's that guy was the lead in a ton of movies, but he was from the Thing from Another World, the like black and white one. He was the main character,
Wow.
like the hero. of
Oh,
that.
really?
And the theater manager is a guy named Paul Bartel.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
He's
I
in
pointed
like
him out.
every
Eating
Roger
Rattle,
Corman
yeah.
movie. Yeah, like
Yeah.
so it's just amazing. Again, this is all the Joe Dante effect of it all, right? Like it's just,
Yeah, just-
pulling everyone from either Corman or like the 50s and 60s movies that he loves and just throwing them in.
Yeah. Or also Hulk Hogan.
Well,
So, you know, there's
that
that.
was an of the moment one. That's like the, you know, that's like the most dated
Yeah,
part of this
my-
movie
my
that
kids-
is like should be
Wow.
Kids
totally
had
dated.
no idea who the fuck he was. I had to explain
Yeah.
who that was and what the joke was. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then say,
You-
don't
you-
Google
you
him.
tell
Yeah.
them, like,
Holy shit.
yeah,
Wow.
whatever you do.
Yeah, well,
Kids
at
don't know
least
who the fuck Hulk
at least
Hogan
you
Don't
know
Google.
that, yeah, he's a nobody now because kids have no idea. A 12-year-old today has no idea who the fuck Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Nowadays,
Oh,
who
they-
would
oh,
they know? John
With the
Cena?
part
I mean-
where it looks like he's being hit by
Yeah,
an
it's
invisible
Peacemaker.
person, my son made the joke he's fighting John Cena. Yep, I know.
Ah.
That's the level of his humor.
Yeah. So Hulk, the manager's like, "Excuse me, can you help Hulk Hogan?" And he just stands up, looks straight down the barrel of the camera, and cuts a fucking promo on the Gremlins.
Yep.
Yep. And there's no pretense
Yeah.
that this is like somehow happening. This isn't like the Leonard Maltin review of the VHS re-release of Gremlins where it's like happening in the building in one of the studios. This is pure 100%
Yeah.
like just breaking
Which,
the fourth
by
wall.
the way, when they cut to that, when they do the Leonard Maltin reviewing of Gremlins
Yeah.
1, right? And he's just reading
he's reading his review
that
of
he gave
Gremlins 1. Yeah, that's the joke.
which is fucking funny, right? And I do love that when the Gremlins subdue him, right? Because he's shitting on
Yeah.
the movie. And then the technical difficulties
Yep.
logo has
Yep.
a gremlin,
It's fucking funny.
which also, Tim, that means that the Gremlins
real.
movie
That's exactly-
exists
that's
in
what I
this
mean.
universe
Yeah, this
as a movie.
And they got the guy that really infamously hated Gremlins to show up
this
in the
movie is
sequel.
having so much fun with itself.
Yep.
Yeah, which he later in his review of Gremlins 2 calls this an egregious
Yep.
cameo.
Yeah. And it's true.
His cameo.
It's 100% true, but like that's
it's
not
him.
wrong either. It's like it's not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
He's not wrong, but like that's also the point. So it's
Right. It's a
Yeah.
joke. So we go back to the movie now, I guess, or the real world. I've lost track. And cops have the building surrounded. Grandpa Frankula is catching wind that there's a bunch of news outside. So he grabs the Asian tourist guy. He's like, hey, can you work a camera? And he says, I am a camera.
Nice.
You know, at the very least, like, they made him competent, the camera guy. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he didn't have any kind of crazy accent or anything like that.
No, they're playing on that, like, that trope joke, but
right, they're making fun of
Yeah,
the trope.
that's the thing.
I mean, clearly.
With Michael Keaton?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Tim. It is, and it's Long
Yeah.
Duck Dong from
Oh,
16
shit.
Candles. It's
Yeah, I mean, like,
God.
yeah,
Christopher
this
Columbus.
is actually,
Yep.
no, it was just John Hughes. I don't think, did Chris
No,
Columbus
Columbus
direct
did.
16 Candles?
he might have. I have to look it up.
I don't,
I don't think
fucking
so.
know. You know, I've never seen that movie.
I think that was John Hughes written and directed 16 Candles.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
Chris
There you
Columbus
go.
started directing John Hughes with Home Alone.
Okay.
So
that's right. Yeah, it was Home Alone.
I know too
Okay.
much about Chris Columbus for a guy that I really don't
It's
like.
all good, man.
But is it?
Like both of them.
But-
I don't
but
like
yeah, he's
either
like-
version.
But his
of Chris
movies are
Columbus.
great.
Like, let's.
But right, it's not like it's a mistranslation when he says I'm a camera. It's like if you told somebody, "Can you set the table?" and he's like, "Set the table."
Yeah.
I am
Right.
the table. You know, like that, just being goofy. And so they run out and just start reporting on
And
the
he
Gremlins.
and Fred, Uncle Fred is full Dracula the whole time, which
Still
is the
Dracula.
best part because you know. And earlier we saw that he was kind of like lamenting that his career had gone to like the no
This.
budget like horror movie host, and he dreamed of being a broadcaster. So he's getting his little arc here as the only
Yeah.
broadcaster inside this building still. And
Yeah, he's got the inside
Yeah.
scoop. Dressed as Dracula. By the way, more newscasters
please.
dressed as Dracula.
seriously, yeah,
I would watch
Yeah.
the news.
I'm all
7
for
dead
it.
in mass shooting, and the person is
So-
dressed up like, I don't know, Art the Clown.
I mean, well, okay, that I don't know. No,
I don't know
I
about
think
Art
I think
the
we need to go classic because I think otherwise it,
Tasteless.
Mime.
it starts
That's when
getting
you
a
need
little.
the mimes.
Then they can't talk
Well,
to
then-
him.
I
Just
guess
put closed
no bad
captioning
news.
on it. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Just hope they're not doing anything about like the monster truck gravedigger, because then the
Yeah.
captioning might be off. Right, Tim?
Oh god.
So the Gremlins are back at the party in the lab, right? We got Electric Gremlin. We got another Gremlin that just
My
throws
kids thought that
acid
was
in
funny.
his face. And
Written on
can't.
it, do not throw in face.
Yeah, acid. Do not throw in face. I told you the label game in this lab is just off. Like it's
Pretty
perfect.
good, Tim.
And
Come
this
on,
is
buddy.
when the classic
Don't throw it in
theme
the
starts
face.
playing.
And then-
Da, 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 da. And I
Yeah.
realized that they haven't played it
Yeah.
once until this part of the movie, and it's like over halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're damn near the end
I
of
mean,
the movie. But
the fact
yeah,
that they actually even used anything directly from the first one kind of surprises me. Like, because that might have been something that was just insisted
That's the
upon
music.
because.
So.
Well, but the whole point
I'm sure
that Joe Dante had was, if I'm coming back, I'm doing this like how I want to, and not,
Yeah.
and he's swerving
So-
at every turn,
Totally. I'll totally bet that the things that came up that he had to do was he had to have the music, he had to have Gizmo, and he had to have a stripe.
Yeah.
Right? He had to have and meanwhile the music barely in the movie, Gizmo barely in the movie, Mohawk they don't even call
Yeah.
him Mohawk. He just turns into a spider
Yeah,
and then
plus
they
he-
kill him
Yeah,
Yeah,
immediately.
he
Gizmo
just,
just dispatches
tortures
them.
Gizmo by like putting Velcro on him and ripping it off, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that the Velcro was like buy one get one free too. Like, what the hell place
Yeah.
was that?
So good, dude. Because it would be a good torture for him, I
Yeah.
suppose. So yeah, then you have the one that takes
Yeah,
the female
it shows
hormones.
Matt's
so
not
we
so
get
secret
sexy
fantasy
gremlin
woman.
lady.
Yep. I mean,
Yep, your son just over there
Ew.
making him do a hand check. And
look, Phoebe Cates is in this movie, and yet my attention's divided.
That's right.
It's like, well,
what are you gonna do? But I'm sorry, Matt. She only has eyes for
I
Forrester,
know.
though.
I know. I'm no
I mean,
Picardo.
I get it.
I get it.
he's handsome, so I get it, right? Because yeah, she's just clearly trying to fuck him. The electric gremlin just zaps its way into like pulls a shocker basically into Dr. Catheter, takes out Christopher Lee. So okay, now it's serious. We're killing main characters here, right? So then kills his ass. The new Stripe just starts shooting a machine
now
gun.
they have guns.
Well, because they had the cabinet full of weapons for whatever reason.
The
So
lab.
I got Gremlins, Critters, Arachnophobia, and Tremors. Just the best fucking time you can have on home video. Like these movies, watching all of these movies back to back like this has made me so fucking nostalgic.
It used to be porn on home video, so.
Oh, and also, did my ears detect that when Mohawk was drinking the spider genes, that we were hearing "Altar of Sacrifice" by Slayer?
I don't know if it was actually it or if it was like a sound-alike kind of an off-brand. But no, they were hitting some very specific like metal cues with that one. Just with him.
Oh, you know what? They did. Okay, I'm looking right now at the soundtrack. Not only is that the song, that's not the only Slayer song.
Every time Spider Gremlin's there, they hit two like needle drops of like
So you've got that, and you've got Altar of Sacrifice, and you've got Angel of
That is
Death.
awesome. This movie is even fucking better now with that knowledge.
Tim Slayer.
What are you gonna do?
I know it's not the Who, okay, or whatever the fuck.
Kinks.
Calm
he
down.
didn't go to Germany
once
for Slayer. Like, come on.
It's no Pink Floyd.
Yeah, even when I went to Germany,
better than Roger Waters.
When the Scorpions were on stage, come on, let's go.
Oh, maybe if there was a scorpion gremlin, they could play like Winds of Change.
That's the one that gets a crush on a human and they play Rock You Like a Hurricane.
That would be good too.
Yeah. So Billy goes, he visits Clamp's office, and Clamp, he's got gremlin gunk all over him from the shredder. So he's taking a shower.
I like how like not necessarily he's rattled, but not as rattled as he should be.
Right.
It's like this weird and again, it's only a John Glover kind of performance where he can just
he seems disconnected from reality, but also has it together for some reason.
Yeah.
It's that like CEO sociopath thing. And like I've said, I've worked, because I used to work at NASA, and I've worked with like astronauts and shit. They have that demeanor. Just of like nothing flaps them. And you're just like, wait, what? Are you a human? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You may not be flappable.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But he's also like, he's weirdly detached, but also like childlike, in like the things that like capture his attention.
Yeah.
Like,
because he gets really excited at the idea of like making suburbs.
Well, the fact that he gets to use his secret exit.
Oh yeah.
Like he delivers that line with like such joy. And then it takes a little while. We don't go right. I don't think we go right to what it was. So you're like, well, okay, whatever. But this actually is it's hard for me to like pick like a favorite scene in this movie, but like his end of the world tape.
Just the tears in his eyes.
Like it is like a joke that hits me like 5 times in like the few seconds it's happening. Because 1, he's got it, and it's ready. Yeah. 2, it's the lamest video ever.
Like very.
You get bad reviews the next day.
And then 3, it's like, you cut to like the tears in his eyes, and then he's like asking for Billy's like opinion on it, and Billy's like just behind him, like,
what do you think?
Is that uplifting?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
And then, not to mention that the inspiration for this scene is the fact that several networks have a video like that they're sitting on.
Of course, it's
that they're like, well, the world's ending. We're glad you've been watching CNN.
Does it matter?
Oh,
if it's real, if the world is ending tomorrow, does it matter if it's
what if it's like a 1940s one?
It would be pretty amazing if it was like, well, guess the big one's been dropped. So
guaranteed if the world was ending, no, but whoever's job it is to put that tape in is not doing it.
Like,
Well, it depends
like,
on
you know what?
how
Fuck
fast
this.
the
I'm
world
outta
is
here.
ending, right?
yeah.
Fair, yeah. I guess you could just play it
Yeah,
now
that's
because
true.
eventually
Yeah.
it
Literally
will.
every day
There's an
we're-
app for that
Everyone-
right?
Everyone record this and then play it, as you see fit.
It's a
Yeah,
Bloody
this-
Bits episode.
That's
We'll
a
do
great
our
idea.
own.
That should be our next
So-
bonus episode. Our Armageddon special, yeah.
The podcast for the end of the world. Exactly. So then Electric Gremlin pops out of a light socket, and I love Billy just very coolly, like he had it planned out, just
Yeah,
traps it in the phone.
That is
Like,
a
I sent
point
him
where
to
it's like
voicemail.
completely broken the laws of physics. I'm like, what?
Phones use electricity.
And it had to
That's
go
it.
to the next.
You can do whatever you
available
want,
source.
but don't break the fucking laws of physics in Candice's book.
That far. I mean, there's
Yeah,
always some bending, but
What's funny is phones do, I think it's like 2.4. It's very, very little voltage, but they do have electricity, landline phones. And if your power goes out at your house, you could technically charge shit using your phone line.
who has a phone line?
Well, so
Yeah.
there you
I was just gonna say nobody has that anymore. Yeah,
Nobody, yeah. No. I mean, this was the life pro tip for when Gremlins 2 came out. Not for now.
900
Now,
numbers were big then. Yeah,
now, we got batteries.
I know.
Yeah,
Warner
yeah.
Brothers was pissed about. they wanted one of the cuts they demanded was that the whole line of like they come in they're electric now or whatever, and Billy just says or was it no? Clamp says, "Wait, they're electric," and Billy says, "Well, they are now." I guess they were like Warner Brothers was like irrationally pissed about that because they said that it made the movie seemed like it was poking fun of the fact that they were going to try and merchandise it. And I was like, did the people not watch the rest of this movie?
flat
Like, how
out
was
say
that the
Yeah.
scene that they got? But that was like one of those ones
The
that Joe
scene-
Dante's talked about. He's like, that was one of the weirdest fights that I've ever had with the studio about keeping something in. It's like they were never
bizarre.
like,
Wow.
oh, cut some of that goop or whatever. But like,
and
it seemed it was like just on the nose, self-aware enough. Or I don't know that like it stood out to them.
And then
but,
how
like,
many
the rest
years
of-
later did Rise of Skywalker come out and the stormtroopers start to fly and somebody goes, they can fly now?
Right. Oh, well, exactly. Well, think about that was R2-D2 in the prequels could fly, and then that was supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, that
And
always
it's like,
bothered
well,
me.
Yeah.
How the fuck did a
kind of
robot
weird that he
forget
never
that
busted
shit?
that
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Although if this movie came out nowadays, they just make the electric gremlin into an NFT.
Oh,
right?
really?
There we
Right
go.
on the
Oh, I
market.
get that lazy gremlin.
Ugly gremlin. It's her NFT.
So yeah, he gets him trapped, and then they come up with this plan. Why don't we move all of the clocks ahead 3 hours? Then they'll all gather in the lobby. They'll muster in the lobby.
Because they
Because
want to
apparently
get
that's
out
the
and
only
wreak
exit
havoc
for the
there.
entire fucking building.
Yep.
It's the only exit.
Well,
Building of the future.
no, that's a Donald Trump move, right? Like, there's no way he's spending
Yeah.
any extra. Like, he may try and like class it up in some ways or make it look expensive, but
He
he's
wants
yeah.
to
cheaping
have
on,
his
like,
own
the
Triangle
fire
Shirtwaist
exits.
factory fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You know, Candice, thank you. I was
Yeah,
trying to think
yeah.
of the name of that.
You're welcome, Tim.
I'll have something with shirts in it, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go with Great White.
I-
Too
but
soon.
close enough.
Dude,
Too
yeah,
soon.
Compared to the other
Tim,
fire.
you
yeah.
were, dude.
Yeah, but it's totally the Donald Trump. Yeah, that's solid gold
Yeah,
plated.
exactly. Don't scratch it.
Right. But so then the plan is, okay, so what we'll do, and we'll coordinate this entire thing, right? The plan is all going to take place, Tim, at 4:20.
I saw that because I was watching this with subtitles. And so this on 420. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, this movie's got me on board. But at this point, it's too late.
Yeah. They lost you too soon, Tim. They really did. So now we go back to Tim's redhead. She's running around. We forgot about
Such
her.
a
She
great
gets caught
accent.
up in the
What I-
spider
God
web.
damn, her accent is so good.
Yeah, her voice is crazy.
Yeah, she picks an accent. What is that
Yeah.
accent supposed to be?
I think it's like a Brooklyn
Yeah.
Brooklyn accent, maybe mixed with a little bit of Queens, but thrown in, delivered like she's in a 1940s movie. Like she's Catherine
Right,
Hepburn or
like
something.
that.
Yeah.
She's also like, trying to be some kind of
Yes,
upper class
yes.
like snob with like, the
All right,
accent,
you know what comes to mind? Jennifer Jason Leigh in Hudsucker Proxy.
That's a deep cut.
She's delivering her
wait.
lines pretty much the same
Yep.
way.
yeah.
So it's like Holly Golightly meets
I gotta watch that
Hudsucker
again
Proxy,
tonight.
maybe.
That's such a great fucking movie. When that fucking hula hoop, when that first
there you
kid sees
go.
that hula hoop, just a look on his face.
So she gets all
Well,
webbed
I
up.
love like
and
all this stuff has been happening that we've been talking about, like all the chaos, and like when she kind of reappears, it's as if like she's just been in her office working, and she's only thought
Yeah,
like
she's
the
not
power
freaked out
went
at
off.
all.
Because
Yeah.
she's like, I can't
Yeah,
work
yeah.
without illumination. Like I
No.
was like,
yeah, she's like, God damn it. Damn it, I got a report I got to turn in. These fucking gremlins. I got to go find a flashlight or some shit. Yeah, she just gets webbed up. And then
So
I love
hold
when,
on. Now,
when they
not
free
only
her.
does she have webbed feet, but she's got webbed everything.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
all covered with something sticky and
Huh?
white.
you know what? This is like stuck in the dryer, but just stuck in a big spider's web. This is a whole new level.
Yeah.
Damn. That's what we got to do. We got to start introducing giant spiders.
This
to
is
stuff
the new
porn.
sex
I mean-
quicksand.
Right. It's
Oh,
I mean, who's been getting things stuck more
Yeah.
than
Tim.
spiders, right? Like that's
Tim. Instead of quick sand, it's quick bang. Yeah. So, I love when when they rescue her, he just like whips out nail clippers to cut her down. He cuts like one tiny
well,
string
because
with
first
nail
Phoebe
clippers,
Cates tries to
and she's
like,
free.
free her,
And she's got
and
Chinese
she's got like the
scissors, too.
tiniest scissors. Yeah,
Yeah, and she's really also not so much feeling the freeing her.
Oh, that's right.
Even though
Yeah,
she
she's like,
does
yeah,
say like, "Look, we
cheated
never
on
did
me, yeah.
anything." Yeah, and she's like, "Look, you never
Yeah.
did
Yeah,
anything."
plus-
okay, just let
plus
put me
she's
down
lost
for a
interest
minute,"
at
which
this
is
point.
exactly what I'd say. Yeah, no, she's no longer interested in Billy. Now she wants that
Yeah.
brain
Mhm.
gremlin.
He's an up and go.
He's a
He's an up
mover
and
and a
upper.
shaker. We heard him on the phone. Yeah. And so while this is going on, Clamp sneaks out by taking his weird like underground tunnel.
Oh,
that
it's a
pops
suicide
out of,
booth
like, a
from
manhole.
Trauma.
Plant, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the way they filmed it though is they lifted a manhole and they had a crane lower that thing in and then pull his
That's
ass
awesome.
out.
The one tree out front of Clamp Tower.
Yeah, the one tree. So he pops out and he immediately goes and starts talking to the cops and coordinating like he's their fucking squad leader. Meanwhile, Mr. Futterman
So it
just
says you can't keep a good
sneaks
dick
in
down.
there real quick.
Yeah, he finds a
True.
way.
Dick will find a way.
To get in there.
Yeah, that should have been the slogan for Jurassic Park. Dick will find a way. So then Billy gets knocked out and drug into the Candice.
Oh my
Gremlins
god,
dentist
here's where I got a
office.
real fucking problem with this line. Is it safe?
Okay.
That fucking
So
thing
wait,
saw a
you're
marathon
saying like
man?
it's a marathon? Nah, I knew it.
That's a marathon man
probably.
joke. Come on.
What's Marathon Man? I'm kidding. Just so you know, I just wanted to.
You almost got me.
I know.
But he's already so spun up, though, Matt. You don't.
I know.
You don't need. It's not good for
I
his
realized I kind of felt guilty partway through my
And
asking
then-
what Marathon Man was, and
And then I love that Grandpa Fred
And
is just
he's looking
interviewing
annoyed
the
because one of
brains
them's got
gremlin.
makeup on his face while he's talking. It's so fucking funny.
absolutely love that this got set up like that. He arranged one of them arranged this.
So he's
And,
probably got like a PR
For an
person. He's got an
interview.
agent that he's talking to. That Uncle Fred's talking to.
Oh,
Oh
so
wait,
the
hold on.
Gremlins
He's doing
got-
that guy's doing the Donald Trump. The Gremlin's calling up to pretending to be John Barron Gremlin to make the
Right.
set up the meeting.
Oh yeah.
and he's got the
Does he
blazer
ask?
on with like the patches
He's
on the
looking real
elbows.
distinguished.
He's a public intellectual.
But he's
now.
saying
This,
gibberish. Like he's just saying
He
big
keeps
words.
talking
It's not
about how
really
gremlins
smart.
want
Yeah.
rights too, that they can be an asset to society. They want culture.
Right, because Fred asks him what the fuck they want, and he's like, well, we just want civilization, but it's going to take time, and we're going to stumble along the way. And then he whips out a gun and just shoots a gremlin in the face. And he's like, yeah, like that one. See, that's a problem.
And then Fred and the cameraman just like back away because they're like, oh, he's got a gun.
He knows how to use it.
Yeah. Because, he just shoots this gremlin that pops up with like a propeller beanie on, just making a bad example of gremlins, right? Yeah. So then Futterman pops in, rescues Billy from Dr. Giggles' gremlin. And that's when they find Red and start trying to get her out of the spider gremlin shit. And as soon as they do, then Gizmo pops out of one of the vents, fully Rambo mode. Right, he's PTSD'd out. He's about to draw first blood.
Doing his workout montage.
This is where I have the line. They pushed Gizmo too far. I love that so much.
But I'll tell you what, though, for a flaming office component bow and arrow, might work. Whiteout, I bet you could burn Whiteout.
Whiteout probably is pretty flammable.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I'm sure
he lights that on fire.
Because Whiteout was a whole rage when I was in school. Just invented. Somebody would set that shit on fire.
Must have been really boring to be in school.
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
You know what the rage was?
Knowing when Whiteout came out.
You know what all the kids are talking about these days?
It was like 1 year everybody had it. It was like, holy fuck.
I thought I was old because that's when internet just started being used in the classroom. But that beats that by a mile.
They're like video games I'm looking forward to that are coming out right now, and I don't notice it. But the Whiteout comes out. Tim fucking, he knew.
That was a game
changer
in
his
school.
high
What
school.
are you talking about, man?
You could use a pen.
It was the talk of Tim's high school.
It was like the internet coming to school. A whole new world opened up.
Like, get behind me, pencils. Now we have Whiteout. We're going to
having to spend that
now, baby.
extra money on those separate erases.
You just have to spend extra money on Whiteout,
and
Tim.
it never really covers things that well.
Wasn't it the guy from what is it? The guy from the Monkees. Didn't his mom invent Whiteout?
I think so, right?
Yeah,
Somebody was already fucking
One of the guys from the Monkees, he quit doing the monkey shit because his mom invented Whiteout, so he was rich as fuck. Or his dad, one of them. Chef Robbie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Next to me, Theo. He fucking put so much whiteout in the goddamn thing. It was like he was fucking engraving after he fucking trying to rewrite on
Was
the
he
page.
sniffing it?
That shit smelled good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Now that dude, one of my friends in school got in trouble for huffing rubber cement. I don't think that does anything.
Stupid, and that's
but
why
he
they
did
stopped him.
It just it doesn't get you high. It just fucks you up in the brain.
Yeah. Yeah, longtime listeners and listeners to Ed and Matt on campus will recognize that was a Bruce story right there. My friend Bruce did that one. He's the guy that tried to knock out a deer with a mag light.
Oh yeah, I'm
so happy this is
classic.
I like how you always know a podcast has too many guys and not enough women when they start talking about what animals they could fight.
Yeah, that's true.
Shut the fuck up. All of that, by the way, was in service of the joke animal fight at the Golden Corral, which gunfight at the OK Corral. Nobody, of course, is going to get.
I like that it was only an hour.
Oh, thanks. The next one's only half an hour,
that's not
so
fair.
even better.
You got to do the show as long as the movie is.
No, Tim.
And I'm also
half an hour
wondering,
a week. That's all you get.
I'm sorry, I think Candice and I know Eddie a little bit better than you, Matt. What's the proof that I know Matt's going to watch it because Matt's Matt. He's going to watch that fucking movie every time. What's the proof that you are watching this movie every single time?
No problem, Matt.
No,
ask me.
no.
Ask him any question about fucking Twilight.
Nope. Any question, top of your head. You can hear me typing, so you know I'm not Googling it.
Let's see here. What? Okay, any question.
Could be using
I'm
your
just
phone.
trying to think because now I'm thinking of all stuff we already talked about today.
Something beyond surface level.
Where?
How does this prove that he's watched it every single time?
Yeah.
What's a building
And the
that
podcast just
Cooper
started.
can't find?
Oh, Cooper can't find the library or library. He's never been there. Also, he doesn't
That's
attend
like
classes.
fucking Chat GPT.
He's a bad boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? And Tim, here's the
Chat
thing.
GPT.
I think I'll be able to. Maybe I won't catch it if like 1 week he doesn't watch it, right? But like, there's going to be a point in which, no matter how much we love this movie, there's the dispiriting element is going to set in. And if he sounds too optimistic,
When
or
does
too
he sound
kind of upbeat,
optimistic?
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because it's so easy to read what I'm thinking from my voice.
Yeah. He's very
So,
well
that's a
known
good
for his
point.
inflections.
But I will say,
Very
there
well
is a little bit more of an upbeat tone when talking about Dead Man on Campus so far. Because
Because it's
I'm a
brand
big
new,
fan
that's
of it,
right.
so there you
But
go.
I don't know. I wouldn't trust him. I would demand some kind of real video proof that he's watching that
Right.
movie. Yeah.
Video
So wait,
proof.
so
Stream
to
you
confirm
watching
that
on
he's
Twitch.
watched,
Tim, I got video proof
he's
for
just
you,
going to
buddy.
do it like in Speed. He'll just loop parts of it, and we'll be like, "Well, yeah, there's him sitting and watching."
Yeah.
No, every once in a while, he's
That's
going
true.
to stand up and talk to the
How
camera
many
and
times
say
does he have to
something that
scratch
really
his
takes
balls?
that.
It's like a 2-second loop.
Yeah,
Well, nobody's going to think that that's wrong. Yeah.
He's never stopped scratching his balls this entire time. All right. There's a picture of me
No.
watching it. I put
I'm
in
not
the host
looking at
Discord
it.
for you. Okay.
I'm not looking at it.
Okay.
the
So
point is, he'll be.
then-
I trust him. I'm gonna extend that. We'll just put it that way. I don't need proof.
Okay.
So Futterman starts giving this like, guys, we can't give up speech, right? And this is when Kate starts in
Yep.
on her story about what happened to her on Lincoln's birthday.
This is such a good gag.
And I fucking love this scene so much.
This is good.
Tim,
yes.
come
this
on,
is up
buddy.
there with the chimney story. Yes.
You got this? Tim, you got this right next
Lincoln,
to it. And
don't
of course
talk
they
about
interrupt
Lincoln.
her. You know,
When
they're
I was a
like,
child."
we gotta go.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then Tim, we
Oh, I
get the
thought
big
this was so
music.
Oh
funny.
no! Come on! This is
Rain
where I got lost
singing.
2 times.
Oh, come on.
I don't like
Tim.
musicals.
Tim, there's a
If I have a hard enough time believing
there's
that
a
just regular
saxophone.
people just break out in the song and dance together, now you're going to say Gremlins are doing it?
You don't.
Well, really,
You
one.
the-
round.
don't
the
like
Gremlins has a
musicals because you
saxophone.
don't believe it's realistic that people would synchronize, sing, and dance together out of nowhere.
Yes, that always bothers me. I know it's crazy. I know it's stupid because it's a musical. And there's a couple of musicals that I like, okay? I think Hair is a great fucking
Yeah,
musical.
like Singing in the
not
Rain.
Singing in the Rain, but whatever, you know.
What if there's only one
No.
person dancing?
No.
Then is it okay?
It's something that, that's a little bit because maybe that person's crazy.
You know, that's a
right?
gag in the movie Enchanted,
What?
is because it's like a part musical, and she starts singing and dancing, and the guy from Grey's Anatomy is looking around like, what the fuck is going on? Because all of a sudden everybody starts singing
Yeah.
and dancing.
Yeah.
It just takes
It's a good
me out of the
move.
movie. It's like when blood
And then-
splatters on the camera lens.
What about when all of the gremlins coordinate because they all
You
have
see
ties?
gremlin
Oh
movies?
my God.
Doing is that the Busby
You get the
Berkeley
Jessica Gremlin.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, it just makes the lady gremlin face, and she pops out of it, and you think she's gonna have like a
No, she
song
just
or
looks
something
sultry.
she sings.
She's a
but
redhead, isn't she?
She can't talk really. So yeah,
Yeah.
Tim.
Okay, Tim, would you
Buddy.
fuck the
Then-
girl
then we have
gremlin
the-
so that you could fuck the redhead in this movie?
Ooh,
I will only say yes because it looks like she already at least gave that guy head, and then he was like reconsidering doing
toothiest
it
blowjob
again. So
ever.
it must have been okay.
she's
That's trust,
got
but you take
green
it
hair
right
but really red lips.
Yeah, she's got some.
Oh, that's
So I don't
right.
know how
she's
you
got
feel
some
about green
sensual
hair.
lips.
okay.
She got those blowjob.
Candice,
lips.
would
Let's
you-
just
would
not
you
lie,
bang-
Right?
Candice, would you bang the goofy gremlin so that you could
I
bang the
knew you were
Phantom
going
of
to
the
bring up Phantom of
Opera?
the Opera. But he's not playing Phantom of the Opera music. He's playing Bach's Fugue in G minor.
No.
What a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
nerd!
He's
Holy
not playing the
shit!
Phantom's song. Or
But they recreate the Lon Chaney
yeah, like taking off his mask.
Pointing
pointing like
at
so
the camera.
He's the one that had
good.
the acid
Like,
thrown
I mean,
in his
it is-
face.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep,
So
exactly.
fucking funny.
There's also like They're unpacking literal Acme brand bombs and
they have a
bazookas
schematic about a Statue of Liberty because that's the
X on
plan.
it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, outside, the cops have just gotten a big sheet that they painted night on. And they just drop it like a drop cloth in front.
Isn't
just
it
in
facing
front
the
of
wrong
lobby.
way though?
Not on the
it's facing
sides.
out towards us.
And then,
Yeah.
No, I think we're
Facing
seeing
out
through
toward
it,
us, too.
or like I think
maybe.
we're
You can see
seeing
through
like
it because that would defeat the purpose of blocking out the sun
And
if you can
it's-
see through it.
And again, the sun is
again,
up.
it's a dumb plan. Like
it's
it's not.
really dumb. And then they get Midwest weather
like the,
because out of nowhere clouds come.
yeah. Then all of a sudden, or Florida weather, you just be a beautiful day and then pouring fucking. It just immediately clouds come. It's like shit. Well, there goes that plan. And yeah, this is just some other ones. We've got the suit of armor gremlin in here. The Gremlins prop department, man,
They
fantastic.
spent so much money on this, and you can tell, and it's gorgeous.
They've got the kick line with a bunch that look like, I forgot what they're all done up. There's some that are done up like the Village People in there. Like
yeah. I mean, just everything that wardrobe had.
That's
that
when
would
you used
fit
to
a
see that one of them
gremlin
has
is
like
there.
a no Gizmo t-shirt.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, all the individual
Fucking love
gremlins
that.
are all great.
He went out and
It's just
Yeah.
they're singing and dancing.
so you think there's like a New York tourist shop for Gremlins where they're getting the I Hate
Times Square? Hell
Gizmo
yeah.
shirts. Some guy in Times
They're like-
Square selling
they're
the
like,
shirts
"Hey,
5 for
One
20 bucks
time,
or some shit.
They bought that a regular size, and then they washed it one time and shrunk all the way down so it could fit the Gremlins.
It's like that
Yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode.
Yep,
T-shirt
yep.
of the damned.
Oh, I love that episode when Meatwad's wearing the shirt is
His
the
little
most
arm sticking
adorable
out.
thing. Just squishing
Just
out of
doesn't
each
sound
side
right
of
when
it.
you say adorable. I don't know why.
Oh, I love Meatwad. He's my favorite. So cute. So then Billy's like, all right, I got a new plan. Here, Mr. Futterman, get the fire hose and spray down all of the gremlins. And Futterman's like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're going to reproduce. That's terrible. So anyway, gets the hose out, starts spraying
That's when
them
you get
right
more
at the
of the
crescendo
little
of New York, New York.
embryos popping out of their backs. It's
Yep.
so fucking gross. My daughter really
Yep,
fucking
yep.
hated this scene.
It is so cool.
Oh man, she really hated it.
Oh, she'd hate Alien then, man. Don't ever let her see Alien. Or
Well, no, I'm not going to
the
fucking show her
Avenger.
Toxic Avenger. Jesus.
What about the new one with Dinklage
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Cannot
Yeah.
believe they got
and
that.
Elijah Wood? It should be all right. Yeah, that's so interesting. I can't wait to see what they do with that shit. So he hoses them all down, and Billy he picks up a phone, reaches out, touches someone.
Yeah, what
calls
does he
Electra
press that would
Gremlin.
make the gremlin jump out of the phone?
They're on
putting
hold.
it.
Yeah.
It's stuck on hold.
Yeah.
Listening to the elevator
Yeah,
music.
the
and
gremlin
it's
is
really
stuck.
angry.
The gremlin is stuck in the phone system because it's on hold, so he can't transfer to a new line or something and get out. I guess.
Yo, Gaiman, you
That
hack.
makes sense.
Now that you know that, Candice,
Yeah, it
does
does,
it make
actually.
you feel better?
I mean, they actually worked an in-story reason for it.
There
And
you
plus,
go.
it's very
Yeah.
timely
So in the
because
movie
it's a
logic,
phone joke. Like, that's not
quotes.
something...
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last time I talked on the landline.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, when you were born, they didn't have phones, and when Tim was born, the phones only had
It
like
was easy.
3 digits.
You had to call Parkside 321.
Bensonhurst 555.
Well, they didn't. They hadn't invented the number. They hadn't invented numbers beyond 3 yet. So we were getting there. But so yeah, Electro Gremlin goes flying out, hits the water, and then Candice, this is why I was asking the name of it. Hits the water like fucking the lightning vigor from BioShock Infinite, and just kills
it's
every
great.
gremlin.
There's so much goop.
Just melts them all
Yeah.
down. There's
Yeah, my
there's a
son
witch
thought that
who's
was really funny.
yelling, "I'm melting."
Okay, yes, and Tim, we know it probably didn't watch Wizard of Oz. I'm really, really sorry that is also in this movie.
Then all the SWAT guys hop in after
With
everything's
Clamp
been
in the
taken
lead.
care of.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like
leading
got
them
a
in,
costume
yeah.
And
change.
he accidentally shoots his rifle.
And then Yeah, and then we just got some trigger happy cop shooting the shit out of things
It's just
around
like,
here.
well, one like
It moved.
like a bubbled. It like whoop,
Mm-hmm.
shoots it.
And Tim, did you recognize
No,
that
who was
cop? Dean Norris.
From Breaking Bad. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, Hank from Breaking Bad. We have a Breaking Bad reunion going on here, man. So Clamp then notices fucking Marla, the redhead. He's like, hey, wait a minute here. It's fucking time. So he's like, hey, you wanna be head of PR and then give me some head? And she's like, oh, absolutely. So he wants to make some notes of some just ideas he's gotten, because he's a crazy CEO. So he's like, Billy, give me a piece of paper, buddy. And Billy's like, yeah, here you go. And Billy, like, it's the picture of his hometown that he drew that he loves so much, even though he moved to New York to get away from it, which
It's probably for
not sure why
opportunity.
then,
Bad
but
memories,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was stuck at that bank.
And then the guy, the rich guy sees it and he's just like, hey, we should build
and
that.
I love, again, it's kind of similar to the Christopher Lee scene where he's like convinced that they don't believe him. It's like they keep both Billy and Kate keep saying like, well, we grew up there, because like Clamp's like, did you come up with this?
he
You're like, well, no,
refuses
it's
to
Kingston
believe that it's a
Falls.
real place.
Did you make this?
Yeah.
So good.
Right. He's like, this isn't possible. So he's like, I'm going to do it then. I'm going to build the world's
Yeah, it
biggest
says Clamp's
small
Corner. And I
town
was like,
ever.
that sounds bad. It sounds like Cramped Corner.
Clamp's Corner. Yeah. So then, he's like, all right, great. And I'm going to, you have a big future here. So let's all get to work now and everybody's happy. It's the ultimate happy ending. Then speaking of the ultimate happy ending, we get a phone call from Forrester. He was like, hey, I'm stuck upstairs. What do we? And he's like, yeah, sorry, man. There's no stairs here because, Trump. So we didn't build them. There's just an elevator for me because I'm. Yeah, just an elevator for me because I'm only 215 pounds. I could easily just go up the stairs.
My eyes just rolled so far up my
and the
head.
elevator's down. He's like, well, they'll fix the elevator.
Yeah.
We'll get you in a
You'll be
little
fine,
while.
don't
It's
worry. And then you can
like,
take a
all
half
right.
a day off of work
Bye.
when the building's functional
You
again.
get half a day off of work. So then he's like, all right, well, bye. Hangs up the phone, turns. He's got just kisses, lipstick kisses all over his face. And Tim, there's that lady gremlin.
I have written
He's got to
down,
make an honest woman out of her.
Raped
'cause-
by a gremlin?
Yep.
Probably.
Raped by a gremlin. Next
Yes.
on Lifetime Movie Network.
Yep.
Mother, may I sleep with
Better
gremlin?
than a critter, I'll tell you that. Yeah, and then so she comes up after him with the wedding dress on, and first he's like, no, and then, well, when in Rome, and he whips his cock out
I know,
and
it's a
fucks her right on
crazy
screen.
ending.
That's the best. I like that. I like the
And that's
redhead,
it, and
and
they-
I like that the ending part. That was it.
And that's it, guys. That's Gremlins 2. So, Tim, I know you went into it with a bad attitude. How do you
After
feel
talking
now?
talking about it was more fun than watching it, I guess, for me.
That's how this show
Oh,
goes.
yeah.
Candice, what
I
about you?
absolutely loved it. And I can't
Loved
believe
it?
that I deprived myself of this for so many years. I did myself a huge disservice.
All this time, Matt's been warning you.
A warning? No, I've been trying to
Get the word out.
Paul Revere this movie and like.
Yeah, no, warning
Okay.
you. Hey, you're missing out on your
And
life.
I gotta say, Matt,
What are you doing?
your
You're
memes
wasting
that you
it.
make
You
with
need to go
Gremlins
watch
2.
Gremlins 2.
are some of my favorite things the internet has to offer. Never stop doing those.
The Flasher Gremlin is the gift that just keeps on giving. It is the
Oh,
perfect thing to use in so many places. So yes, I haven't done one in a while.
I'm waiting
but
for
th-
you to
there'll come a
incorporate the
time where
mug Trump
some
shot
se-
into Gremlins 2 somehow.
Oh my god! Yes,
Yep, think
Tonight.
of something.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Don't
Tag
sleep
me.
until you do it, Matt. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I will do something about that tonight.
So, Matt, then, if people want to see those memes of
Yes.
yours, or if, say, there was something on the internet you wanted people to pay attention to, what would that be?
I guess I'm still calling it
Yeah.
Twitter. So the site formerly known as, usually I post all that stuff there. At Matt Begins is where you'd find it. And, you know, you could probably just call me too or something. I don't know. I'll talk Gremlins too. Anytime. So, but yeah, on Twitter. That's it.
No other podcasts or
Okay. And
I mean,
you can
well, I didn't
also
know.
catch him on other podcasts.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were at that exact moment, so I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, we're at the promo
all right.
time
Well,
here.
then,
So,
yes.
Matt, what would you like people to pay attention to
Well,
on the
let's
internet?
see. I have a show that I co-host called The Mighty Peculiar. You can find that if you want to watch it. It's on YouTube, but you can also get it on any of the podcast forms, catchers, whatever they're called. I still not good at that part. Most of what's in the video show ends up in the audio show, unless there's just visual jokes that don't translate. But they're basically the same. And Mighty Peculiar is a show about conspiracy theories and politics and all the craziness. And like, I'm trying to get this going as a saying. It's, we explain the crazy so you don't go crazy. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully we can tackle serious subjects in a way that, you know, again, people don't feel like awful having to like pay attention to. It's,
Yeah. No, that's handy because I mean, it can putting any sort of a comedic bent to it too. Because just reading it is not the most fun.
and it's a little tricky. I mean, there are people that have written in to us saying like we're doing a disservice to like the seriousness of the news or whatever, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, that
know,
one lady don't
really-
like that you wear a tinfoil hat.
oh my god, there's
but then he wouldn't be tinfoil Matt.
We got told, our producer Doug got a message from someone that said like, you and that Matt guy are ruining Denver's brand.
Denver's brand.
And it was like,
Oh,
in Denver, you know, for those who don't know, it was a former congressman that, you know, former Republican
January
congressman.
6th committee.
Yep, he's on the outs with all of the, you know, Trump related people, and he is the co-host of the show. And apparently there are people that think the guy that also, he wrote a book about Bigfoot and the people that believe in Bigfoot, and was tagged for like writing Bigfoot erotica.
Bigfoot
So
porn,
the-
yeah.
that
I'm wearing a
That
Bigfoot
guy,
shirt right now for
we're
you,
told-
Matt.
Awesome. Well, and the best thing is like someone is out there going like the guy that got a national profile because people thought he wrote Bigfoot erotica, and somehow we're the ones doing damage to his brand. But so, anyways, yeah. If you guys if you guys want to see myself and producer Doug ruin a national profile, I guess, for a guy, come check out The Mighty Peculiar. And Eddie, we already talked about it once in this show,
Yep.
but
Ed and Matt on campus, anywhere you have anywhere you get podcasts.
Yes.
Once a week, I watch.
Yep.
We both watch Dead Man on Campus, and then don't necessarily review it. We more just kind of chronicle the journey. What about you, Candice?
Podcasts that are happening. They're going to be coming out for a while, so just at Horror Hoochie 69.
Yet.
Yeah.
Dot.
Okay,
I
I
heard
did
you're
put in my
applying to get
application
into
to be
other
a part-time
podcasts,
co-host
so.
on Wednesdays. We Talk Weird, but
You got my vote. Candice.
well, I'm sure she's being inundated with shit, and it would make more sense for her to pick someone who was more
Yeah.
hands-on and serious about it, like she is.
Mm-hmm. And Ashers, if you're worried about scheduling conflicts with our podcast, do not worry about it.
Shut up, Eddie. You're just trying to
we
pawn
will
me
not
off.
work around your schedule.
No, it'll be no problem.
Now I just got to sell my husband on it because I told him, and he was like, "What?"
Another one?
Ah. All right.
Yeah,
So
just
what
as
about you,
always, Pay
Tim?
attention to us. Give us a 5-star review on whatever podcast thing you're listening to. Is Stitcher still the thing, or is that done?
I think it's done.
Okay.
Stitcher's going away. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, whatever your podcast listening app of choice is, give us
If
a
you
5-star
can, some of them
review.
you can't
If
do it, right?
have
I
done
think
that.
Spotify, you can't.
No,
leave
you
a
can
review,
now.
right?
That's true. Yeah.
Ah,
Some don't.
okay.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can, if you can't give us a review, then tell a friend. Tell a friend to give us a listen. Check us out on the Discord. I actually just posted some links up on X or Twitter or whatever. We had a couple of people join in. We did a fun watch of the movie Pin over the weekend. That was a good time.
We got to see a nurse fuck
Fucking
a
movie.
medical dummy 2 times in 1 month.
How lucky were you?
Yeah, that's a banner month for you. Yep. And if you want more of this, just go to patreon.com/bloodybits, where you can get access to our bonus episodes as well as the Blood Bank with over 6,500 movies, horror, big dumb action. You
don't
fucking
forget,
name
if
it.
you join it, you can not only get access, you can request the fucking movie, and Eddie will find it for you.
You can. Yep. And most
Shit
of the
that
time I can find it. Some of them I have a hard time
with
finding.
Ernest Borgnine, where they was a fucking football team that goes down to Mexico to get his daughter that was kidnapped by drug dealers.
Oh,
the last
God.
match.
Yeah. That was a pain in the ass to find. But yeah, well, we got that one. We just added
That sounds
Murder
good.
Size.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
going to be
they
fun.
thumbnail for that, yeah.
Yeah. 2023, Phoebe is an obsessed fitness nerd who gets her big break on a sleazy workout video.
Oh, sleazy.
After being ridiculed by her co-stars, Phoebe befriends a mafia princess, Wild Child, who teaches her how to murder
We're getting
her
some
way to
Bound
the top.
vibes off of that.
And it's
Ooh,
83 minutes long.
Perfect.
So it's good. We also just added The Blackening. 7 black friends go away for the weekend only to find themselves trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. So they have to use their knowledge of horror movies to pit themselves against the murderer and
not
stay
as much
alive.
of a meta movie as you think it would be. I was disappointed in the lack of meta.
That's too bad. I was hoping it. And finally, you can watch Dead Man on Campus. 2 college roommates go out and party, resulting in bad grades. They learn of a clause that says if your roommate dies, you get an A, and decide to find someone who's on the verge, so to speak, to move in with them.
And you should watch.
So they have to find somebody on
They
campus
got a
who's in that frame of mind.
It has to be another student. Yeah.
Yes, and then they
And
have to commit
convince them to
suicide, then
be
they
their
get straight
roommate.
A's. Tim, you should watch it. No. One of them works at the housing office, so he can just transfer their housing.
Gotcha.
Ask me if I've seen this fucking movie, Tim. So if you want access to all that and more, patreon.com/bloodybits. Signing out here for Candice, Tim, and Matt. I think it's time to say, folks, that this is how we end it.